Howdy, folks. Welcome to Adventures in Alberon, Courts of Everest. I'm Joe Treff, your DM this evening and most. And joining me are my friends, that face, Matt, Vincent, Tina, Kara, Hannah, and Alana. I'm talking about Matt's face. He's making one. We're going to play D&D.
The way I was born.
We're going to play D&D, but before we do, a couple of quick announcements. First, we played Mosaic Team 5, our original Starfinder campaign, last night. You can see that when it re-airs on our YouTube at Alberon RPG. Every single session that we've ever played is stored over there. I did the math. One campaign 1, is 15 days straight, consecutive, back to back, no breaks, no commercials. Yeah, there's a lot of content there. And so if you ever want to see D&D, other parts of this world and stories that will all connect together, all there at Alberon RPG on YouTube. We also have Instagram where you can see the different things that come up on our battle cam, like that. You can see it kind of well there, but you can see it really well on Instagram when people take pictures. And that is Instagram There's so many things. Okay, so starting in October 24th and October 25th, we will be having our original Humblewood Heart of Decau series that was run by Hannah.
Not original, written by Hit Point Press is very good.
Yes, Hit Point Press. Sorry, Hit Point Press, written by Hit Point Press, but run by Hannah.
Lies.
But it's such a good. You did such a good job running it. It's separated into 2 sessions, so you can see it on Thursday and Friday, the 24th and 25th of October, and we are all celebrating Ari's wedding. Then in November, we are going to be playing Feast of the Noble Vale Round 2, which is going to be led by Kara. It is our annual cooking tradition, our D&D cooking tradition. There's no real food involved, but there's some very whimsical treats that are cooked up by a number of chefs across the Alberon universe, and we see that impact the campaign in unusual ways, actually. In December, there is going to be... Oh God, I'm forgetting now. There's so many things.
Brenna. Axe Wolf and Woe.
Axe Wolf and Woe! The Brenna one-shot. That is going to be played, I think, on the 18th? 14th, thank you. On the 14th, there is going to be some familiar faces from Campaign 1. We're going to be having some guest players join us for the very first time, and so that's going to be a really cool thing that you can see in December. And then in January, we are going to be playing Black Heart of Texas, an original Fallout story that I wrote. I've got the okay to play, and I'm very excited about it. It uses Modiphius's Fallout TTRPG 2D20 system. It's really cool. We have a lot of really fun things planned for that. And then in February, which is where we're planned out to, which is wild, February 14th, there's going to be a very special original Starfinder one-shot. Loosely Starfinder one-shot, run by Olive, called Ace of Hearts. It is a...
Ace of Roses.
Ace of Roses, sorry. Ace of Roses. There's so many things to announce.
Ace of Roses, the Race of Hearts.
I wrote, say the things from November to February. Good preparation. So, Ace of Roses is... Ace of Roses. Ace of Roses, Olive's original one-shot. It is like something that you have never seen before. It is so wild, and it's a lot of fun. You can see a whole host of new faces that join us for that particular adventure when it airs as a special on the 14th of February, a very special Valentine's Day one-shot. And that is all the announcements that I have for this week. So it's time for Courts of Everest.
Drink slow. Okay.
Wandering Hearts.
Hi.
Last we played, you all decided to take a short rest within the Temple of the Frozen-Throated Dreadlord. You combined the magical clasp that you found with a rust monster with the almost finished cloak that you found within the space, and had a finished item now in the possession of Minka, though you have not determined exactly what that is. I'm a little too...
I thought we did.
We have an idea of what it does, but I have not been able to do anything with it yet.
Okay.
Nobody's cuddled with that item.
Yeah, no one's cuddled.
Yeah.
You pushed out and through the very real armory that stood in place of the false one in the Feywild, this one not loaded with icicles, and you noticed the ones that Minka had interacted with in the Feywild not affected by your progress in the material plane. You made your way down the stairs and found off and to your right a space where the nemesis of Ori, a tapestry room, sort of occupied the space. On the ceiling, you could see 10 tapestries, all woven from dream silk, a material that some of you knew had a psychic resonance imbued into it that seemed to affect people who would approach it. One of you had an idea that this may have been spun from memories of people, or at least produced by a creature that perhaps imbibed them in some way.
I don't remember that detail.
It was me. It was my thought process.
You crept across the floor and went down the stairs, choosing to look into the mausoleum. You found that in this space there was no walls of ice, there was no piles of snowmen or hordes of undead or Psilocybin creations. There was a very still mausoleum. And Billy, you saw across the way a large hand carved out of basalt that held the pulsing, beating, dark heart, or the right part of the heart of Zosh Vazir. You crept across the hall. Some of you making your way towards the hand, with others of you waiting behind to see what happened. Billy, you grabbed the heart and tucked it into your bag, separating it from the other ventricle with a mere piece of cloth.
Everything's fine.
When this happened, the statues below erupted, with skeletal hands emerging from within, and you found yourselves in a fight against 3 undead that burst forth from pedestals. Each seemed to be perhaps a indication or likeness of a individual who had come before, though the representations of weapons that they held, perhaps a hint that these are not the real thing. Nonetheless, they did have some powerful abilities. Valis, you found yourself on the receiving end of a reverse smite with unholy energy coursing through. But with many of you able to produce radiant damage, you found that these were no match for you. Not even the undead that they tried to summon from the walls of these crypts could stand against your blows. You vanquished them and took the prize, this ventricle of the heart, back and up to the room. You okay?
This is what we did.
No way. There you emerged, you went through the tapestry rooms, and as several of you looked at these beautiful pieces of history, each important within the actual drow culture, you knew, at least Minka, to probably have significance to the events of some person's life, depicted again and again and again and again across this tapestry. Ori picked the lock, and you opened the door in a very unstealthy manner. Or you in particular really kind of flubbing that stealth roll. And as you emerged into the hall that was just bitterly, bitterly cold, ice encrusting the door that you could see off and to the left where Rez had previously seen the frozen over opaque ice, you found yourself befixed by the gaze of several drow and humanoid individuals who all have these gas masks that are sewn into these long smock-like aprons that go down to about ankle weight. You can see these tapestries lowered so that they actually block parts of the path here. And here, Ori, as you peer in, there is a chittering that is just occurring at a almost subconscious level that fills into your ears and the space between your ears and your brain. And as they turn and very much look at you, Ori, we can start by rolling for initiative.
Hey.
They're definitely looking at me, huh?
Price is still up, right?
Well,
Yeah,
use an
it's-
action to make a sense.
So
Those
you
don't exist. This is just me.
you are also a little backlit because I didn't stop. I didn't drop my
Well, then
form.
this is a perfect time for this.
Are they duckies or are they gems? Please be duckies.
I hope they're duckies.
They're not duckies.
gems.
No, don't get excited.
I got excited for duckies.
So,
Just gems.
I like shiny plastic little things.
anybody natural 20? Okay. Anybody 25 to 20?
21.
21, what is your initiative? What's your dexterity?
15.
15.
I like that he asked that.
21 for Billy. Anybody else? 25, 20?
Keep going.
Okay, 20 to 15.
19.
So 19, 19. Who has the higher dex?
Not me.
Okay. Alina, then Valis. Sorry, anybody else 20 to 15?
15.
15 for Cheshire. All right, 15 to 10.
12.
You got 12. Or are you joining us?
I'll be down at 14.
Okay, that's above 12. All right, and then is Rez up?
He, yeah, but he got a 6.
Oh,
Buddy.
He's waddling.
Hey, but you can get an order in first.
so
Kill demon.
the way that this works out. The Drim Silk Tenders are going to be going first, followed by Billy, then Alina, then Valis, then Cheshire, then Ori, then Mika, and then at the very end, Rez.
I know what it means, like tending, like a garden.
Yeah.
You tend a garden.
No, but
like
there's
tendies.
Well, I think the tapestries are the tendies, right?
Chicken
Yes.
tendies.
Hopefully they're not
tenders?
chicken tendies.
Boy, there's an interesting issue that you presented with
Yay!
You're welcome.
He's going to run up here. Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20,
Oh, they're running up to greet us.
25,
They're happy to see us, guys.
20,
I wish I had done the thing that I wanted to do, which was to take riposte for a situation like this.
here.
We're really good at like corridor fighting, right?
This feels like a situation that would be so much better if Valis was in front
Decisions
with
were
a
made.
big shield and not me.
Alice and I are looking. We're in the center of that other room, looking at tapestries.
So they run, and you can see several of them move. They're not especially quick or graceful, as they wear these leather smocks that are almost ankle weight, and they are connected to masks that kind of form this gas mask-like apparatus around their face. They're not super fast, but they do close this distance. And Ori, as one of them closes, you see the two behind kind of pull up. The one that is right in the front, you can see they reach into the smock and they unzip the front kind of area. And from there, you hear and feel this psychic chittering erupt. And can I have... Where's the cone template?
Right there. Right there.
I'll make my way over there.
With our powers combined, we can get this.
That.
Emails.
I didn't want to chip my nail polish.
Oh my goodness.
Whatever.
That is Ori, Billy, and Minka.
No.
Minka and
What are we doing?
Valis are,
Where's the center of
Further
the
away.
other room?
yeah, they're in the center of the room because they're still looking at the tapestry.
We were looking at the
Gotcha.
tapestry.
Okay,
I probably
so
would have gone to the door at this point if you were starting to open it.
it's Ori, Valis. Is anybody behind Valis?
Oh, Billy was like standing over Ori.
And Alina was right behind Billy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the four of you then.
Hello.
I'm still by the center of the room. I have to.
Everybody but Minka and Cheshire. And I believe, Alina, where are you? You're up also up front?
Behind Billy.
There is an explosion of these little tendrils of this dream silk, little red spindly threads explode out across all of you. And can I have the four of you make strength saving throws?
Is this against a magical effect?
It is.
Or sorry, it's against a spell. Sorry, it's
It
against a
is
spell.
not.
Oh,
It is a spell-like ability.
I'm too honest.
This is an attack.
Okay, so
hey, Valis.
uncanny dodge.
Sorry, saving throw? Everyone gets +3.
Hey,
There we go.
12.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
you said strength, right?
Yes.
Better than 9.
Strength.
18.
18. Ori?
8.
+3.
So,
8.
the two of you are knocked prone. And as you do, then as a string wraps around you, each of you feels the psychic energy kind of course through your ears. You can feel your mind become hazy and your memory is uncertain. And in that moment, you are each taking
Uncanny dodge.
19 points of psychic damage. And you are knocked prone. that is that first one. The other two from behind, you can see also zip, zip, unzip these smaller compartments up near the chest, and from within they pull out what look like dozens of sewing needles, and with surprisingly deft movements, they flick them forwards.
Hey, we need one of those.
And you're standing in the front of that hallway.
Sorry, who is prone?
Okay.
And
I believe it is Ori and Billy.
I
did,
like to.
did people who succeeded take any damage?
Do not.
Hey.
I like to intercept.
Okay.
I already uncanny dodged the first one.
I'll intercept yours.
Okay.
Once I
So
find
the one that is going towards Ori, the first one is going to be a 24 to hit.
That is a hit.
Okay. A tiny sewing needle just digs its way into you, and it hits the dead center of a vein and seems to just kind of tear. As it does deal 8 points of slashing damage,
Is this a range attack?
it is.
Did you roll for disadvantage because he's prone?
No.
Thank you.
Rules
No, good. Keeping up.
The hero.
That's why I have you on retainer.
15 to hit.
13?
Yeah.
Fucking no!
There you go. So as you are on the ground, they throw, and as you hit, you feel and hear the kind of singing steel as it goes over top. But Ori, the second one, at disadvantage, is going to be an 18.
That is a hit.
All right. And so for that, you are only going to be taking, no, actually, Xen, 8 points of slashing damage. It hits, it tears that vein. Plus, as you see a small piece of silk just kind of pulled through the wound, you take an additional 13 points of psychic damage. And you can feel this just kind of whistles through you. And Cheshire, all at once, Ori just swims into focus and into view. But that is those three. The only other one, nobody else is kind of in range. That is all that they are going to do. That brings us to you, Billy. Alina, you're on deck.
Billy's gonna get up.
Okay. Half your movement.
So I intercept your attacks. You get 9 HP back.
Oh,
Very nice. Oh,
does that work with
paladins.
psychic attacks too?
It works on attacks that I see hit.
Yeah, and no,
let
so
me check.
it does work, yes.
Okay.
And the reason that it works is because you are intercepting kind of like as they throw these needles, the needle proper. The one that hit Ori pulled that silken strand through, unable to really intercept that. But yeah, it takes off parts of the damage. It works mechanically.
All right. Billy can't end her turn in an ally space, but she can pew pew. Oh, okay. Well, the dice giveth. So one of these is a 17.
17 is a hit.
Sweet. The other one is a natural 20.
Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah.
All right. So we're gonna say that the heavy guy is the 20. Okay. 11, 21, 26 points of force
26.
damage.
Okay, give me 1 second. 26 points of force damage. You can hit
And-
this individual, and you see it ripples off of them. And as far as you can tell, it does the full amount of damage that you would expect.
Am I able to pull him forward into the room?
I don't believe there's space to.
Okay.
But it kind of tugs at him. Everybody is jammed in this very narrow 5-foot hall. It is an inconvenient space to be entering into. But that is your turn, Billy.
Yep.
Alrighty, Alina.
How high is the ceiling in the hallway?
The ceiling in the hallway goes up to 35 feet, I believe. Give me just 1 second.
That's okay. That is fine. Just checking something off here.
Okay.
Scintillating material for our viewers.
Yes, 35 feet.
Okay, great. Well, I'm going to fly up 8 feet, just so I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
over people's heads. And then I got it. Okay. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. Does anyone have a standy boy?
Where are they at?
Standy
There's one there, but I can't reach it.
I have a big standy boy.
Thank you. Okay. So now I am here.
Excellent.
I guess I couldn't go that far because I had to go up first. Okay, so I'm here.
As you fly up there, Alina, so close to that metal door just off and to your left, it is almost frozen over, and you can see the space in the middle that would absolutely fit both ventricles of Zosh Vizier. It seems to be the place where the two sides to the door meet. It would certainly serve as a key, and it is freezing beyond.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, this door is real cold. And then I'll pew at the one that Billy, that one.
Okay, tactical callouts and then pew pew.
Yeah. Double 13s, so that's 2 23s.
Those are both hits.
Okay. That's gonna be 22 points of force damage and 4 bludgeoning.
22 points of force. And who are you shooting at?
The one in front of Ori that Billy hit.
Very nice. This individual looking a little rough now.
Okay. And then to Rez, I say, come on in here and bother and just wait. Who's after Rez? Shit. Go help Billy.
All right. You can hear Rez just go, all right, I got it. And looks over at Billy, who's just kind of stuck in the back. But I'm sure it's a better idea than it looks. That is your turn, Alina.
Yeah.
All righty, Dallas, what would you like
I
to
said
do?
it out loud. I gotta stick with it.
Are you
Cheshire, you're on deck.
standing directly behind, or did you move at all?
I can't, I would have to, be able to pass through an enemy space. And
Did you move back, or are you still?
No,
behind?
I'm just standing directly behind Ori.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can pass through an ally's space, but you just can't end your turn there.
True.
You just jump over
Depends
the
on what you do.
body.
Yeah,
I am going to.
If you reduce an ally to 0 HP, you can occupy the same space. Froze fast.
Forbidden techniques.
Let's see. All right. I did this last session, but just to ask, if I attack an ally and shove them and move them, does that provoke attack of opportunity?
I believe so. It didn't previously, specifically because of the kind of creatures you were fighting. And so those undead unable to react to those things. These individuals, the way that they move their hands and throw those needles, though they aren't fast, they probably could react.
Okay. Then I am going to... Not much I can do where I am, so I'm just going to throw a javelin.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I'm going to take a bunch of goblin scimitars and... Hold on, what did I write down? Let's see. And gobble spears.
Okay.
10 of them, and I'm going to
Gobble
toss them into the room. Bonus action, take a bead and cast animate object on those.
Phenomenal. So you take this big rucksack of goblin implements and just chuck it out. There are knives and little scimitars and weird looking bent up 90-degree angle spears, but they animate into these living objects, and you cast animate object. It fills the space, and here you can see they vibrate in this unusual, uneven way as the psychic resonance kind of moves and seems to almost make them hum. But no problem. That is your turn. Valis, you literally just threw them around. Huh? Alrighty. That brings us to Cheshire. Ori, you're on deck.
one of them escaped a little too.
And Cheshire, for what it's worth, when Ori took that strike, you can see clear as day in high definition the single thread that goes through Ori. And you can see it weaves its way back and into one of these tapestries, and it's part of a much greater whole. And in this place, where there is nothing but just a chaos of threads and strings, there is something vaguely familiar. Can you make a perception check for free?
Oh, that's a good roll. We got 22.
22. With a 22, you get the sense that in this space, as there is so much noise and chaos, you can hear the chittering of these strings just rubbing every which way as people run through them and the winds pass by and they move. It's like thousands of pieces of glass just rubbing up against each other, but in the back of your mind, underneath your molars, in the very depth of your skull. But for you, it's almost like there's a voice underneath it as well. But you can't quite hear it. It's like something is keeping it from beyond, and you look at these strings, and there is something to it, but you just can't quite get it yet. But anyways, Cheshire, what would you like to do?
This story is so Good! And kind of peer around the corner. How many of them are visible? 3?
You peek around the corner, and you can see that is one almost directly in front of Ori. They're looking pretty battered. You can see, like, they are already bruising around the drowish skin, where there is, like, the blast that Billy did seemed to do quite a lot of damage. Same with Olina as well. The other 2 seem fine, and they are just beyond. And then I would say, do you have dark vision?
Yes.
You can and actually with Minka providing some backlight, even dim in the space, you can see that there is one even further beyond. Okay. So you can see 4.
There's 2 clustered up together here, though, right?
There are. There's 3 right there.
The 2 there, I'm going to drop a confusion on top of them.
Okay.
It's a 10-foot sphere. Every creature within it needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Phenomenal. Not for them. That is going to be a 4 and a 12.
Those are failures.
Okay, let me get my D10 out. That's a D10 at the beginning of every
It
turn?
is a D10 at the start of each of its turns to determine the behavior.
So you cast Confusion, and in this space, you can suddenly see about a dozen of these red strings that had been snapped and just drifting through the air suddenly tighten and just tie these tiny knots, and they flash across a spectrum of different colors that seem to almost catch and bind these individuals. And they look genuinely confused. You can see through this gas mask, the eyes go wide, they begin to look around, but anything else, Cheshire?
I'm kind of tuck myself back around the corner again so I can't see.
Okay. Back around the corner. That is your turn, Cheshire. That brings us to you, Ori, and Minka. You're on deck.
I am prone.
Yeah.
Half my movement to get up.
You do so.
How battered is... I'm within melee contact of this person.
Yes.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna kill him first.
Okay.
I'm gonna attack him.
That would be the logical decision, Ori.
You take out some candy and you're like, no.
Choices.
I'm gonna
Or he takes out a flute and attempts to parlay.
hit him with the old regular ass it's what is it, a rapier?
Yeah.
Regular
Okay.
ass rapier. Ooh, that's pretty good. So that's gonna be 25 to hit.
25 is a hit.
Cool. All right. I guess I'm gonna use a superiority die to make it. Disarming strike.
Okay. You don't have to ask me as a question. You can
Well, I
tell me
don't
it's
know
fine.
if like they throw their needle. Do they just like is that it?
They're not holding any weapons, really.
Right. So then I don't want to do a disarming strike then. I'm gonna do a menacing strike.
Okay.
So that's another 2 damage.
Okay.
And then they need to make a wisdom save.
That is going to be a 17.
They are frightened.
Okay. Can you put frightened on this individual? As you strike, you jump up from the floor and you bring this rapier, and they are like already stumbling back. They've taken blows from in front, from behind, from both the warlocks on either side, and already spinning. They just turn and are almost speared by this rapier.
Oh, and then they also take 11 points of slashing.
Yeah. So a lot more damage from the slashing than just
It's
the
regular,
superiority. Yeah, no worries. It seems to do the full amount. These individuals, the armor that they have, a leather apron connected to a leather gas mask-like apparatus. And so, no problem, you spear into them. There is blood coming from the apron, from their arms. You can see even around the nose and eyes that are exposed from the mask, there is like elements leaking out. They're hurt, but they're still up.
And then I'm gonna move into the space here. Attack me with opportunity, I dare you.
Can you
How are
move?
you getting
Can you
by
do
them?
that? Can you move
Bonus
through?
action disengage, sorry.
How are you getting by them?
Bonus action disengage.
Can you disengage
Right.
through
I
a?
think I
Does
can.
that. I think
Oh, can I
disengage
not?
just makes it so people.
Oh, I thought I could
attack
bonus
them.
action. I thought I could move through their space to get. Maybe it's
I'm actually not sure now that
No,
we're
it just says
pretty
that
sure.
your movement doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity for the rest of the turn.
Oh, okay. Then
Sorry,
I guess
You would disengage and back up, but you can disengage in advance.
yeah. I guess bonus action just quick toss, throw a dagger to kill him.
No problem. Thrust forward with the spear. You try to shove your way by, but you are not going to be able to make it through.
Come on, man, let me
instead,
through.
You just whip a little
Please?
dagger.
Ranged attack at disadvantage because I'm within.
I believe so, yes.
I guess I could just stab him with the dagger instead of throwing it.
That is probably
Yeah.
Throwing it.
I was like, oh, that must be like he must have to throw it because of the feature, but no.
It's that he gets to if he wants to at range.
Nice. That's gonna hit though.
Guys,
That's,
I think Ori hit his head harder.
it's like a 28.
But you like reach way back and then you stab him as you can't even finish him. Yeah, no problem. That hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
To be fair, Ori is normally at range. She's very rarely in melee.
9 damage. 9 points of damage. They are still up. They're in bad shape. As you look at them, you are not able to throw it. You try and you just dig it straight into the mask. There is a pierce, and in that moment you pull your hand away and there is a little bit of fire that from the eye. You hear from within the mask this muffled as they begin to scream, but they are still up. Anything else, Ori?
That is it.
Okay. Minka, what would you like to do? Rez is on deck.
All right, so
Ready to help.
at this point,
Am I helping
she
you? Sorry.
Whips around. How far is the center of the room from the corridor?
From the center of the room, you would be from like the entryway to the corridor?
Yeah,
25 feet.
25 feet. Okay. So, seeing that there's like a jam happening, and not feeling confident about shooting past Ori to this guy.
Yeah.
Just, bad memories associated with these things. She's going to. Valis, you're sitting right behind Ori.
I'm like,
Cheshire's like tuning.
Billy's right behind. I'm at his dad.
Okay. Binka's gonna run up to Valis and then take the stone she's been keeping in her pocket for magic stone. Just bonus action, make them special, and then give them to Valis to throw.
Bonus action, you break out your paints, you just make them really nice, and you give them some mundane painted rocks. No, you have magical stones.
Oh, put them over me like this.
Just like the goblins taught you.
Throw them.
They're good for stealth.
Character growth. Anything else, Minka?
So as my bonus action, most of my actions are not particularly useful in this particular context. So she will then touch Valis and cast guidance upon him.
Okay, no problem. Valis, you feel a reassuring magical glow from your guidance. Okay, yeah.
It's very helpful in this combat situation. Guidance definitely is used in combat all the time.
They actually have a reaction they could have used on it, and I thought about it, but it just didn't really make sense. No worries. So
Unless you didn't know that she was casting.
that's kind, and either way, I don't think it makes sense for me. But no worries. So,
Gotcha.
in this moment,
That's it.
you give guidance to Valis, and that brings us to Rez. You told Rez to help Billy?
I sure did.
All right. Billy, in your ear, the invisible Rez kind of shouts out, Billy, you can't do anything from here. Come on.
Oh my god.
And he takes the help action. If you want to move him into the room so he can be ready to help on the next turn as well.
That is more what I was envisioning. But
Absolutely.
sure, he can beat up
Billy's
first.
eardrums.
What's that? He's got 35. Oh no, sorry, he's got 40 feet of movement. Can
Where do you want him in the room?
And presumably up a
Next
little
to-
higher.
Yeah. Like next to that guy. Yeah. I'm ready.
And so Rez, big leathery wings to the other side of the battlefield. In there, he says to you, Alina, psychically, I don't like the way this makes my head feel, Alina. And just kind of a little woozy as Rez, but no worries. That brings us to the top of the round and to the Dream Silk Tenders.
Oh,
So,
they have turns. Damn.
That's my least favorite part.
Yeah.
stay there. Wow.
What happens when they're confused?
Yeah, I have to roll a d10 for those guys.
The bamboozle.
Yeah, before I move. Okay. So, for those two, the ones that are confused, caught up in a binding of different colored ones, it's 8 for one and 9 for the other.
8 for one and 9 for the other?
Yep.
The 8 creature uses its action to make a melee attack against a randomly determined creature within its reach.
Easy, there's only one.
And 9, the creature can act and move normally. At the end of its turns, they can make a wisdom saving throw.
Rez is invisible, though. No?
Rez is invisible as far as I know, and so you can see one of them caught up in these strings, turns, and they reach and jump, trying to swing at you, Alina, and it's...
When they attack,
I'm so sorry. Wait, when
How
you...
did this get you?
I shoot it and my pants are slippery.
when they attack each other,
So, as I said, reaching for Alina, the ropes and strings that bind them seem to almost and pull them in 180 degrees, and they just swing at their ally. Yes.
Very good. Let him cook.
And so that is going to be a meets it, beats it, as they swing this sharpened implement straight into their friend's chest. That is going to be only a piddling
It's like a terrible interpersonal story around
Yeah.
10 points of slashing damage plus
Because they were dating.
7 points of necrotic damage. As they take almost maximum damage from their allies, straight just 40 damage in one blow.
Hildor, you were sleeping with my brother.
Stab into the thing, they bring out the needle, and then they stab again because they get a multi-attack. And that is going to be a hit as well. Much less damage for this one. That is 6 plus 5, 6, 7. Grand total of 21 points of damage from the second blow, for a total of 61 points of damage as they just stab again and again. Handfuls of sewing needles. You see, Alina, a pair of sewing scissors jammed right into this individual's clavicle. You hear the bone break. But yeah, they are absolutely just eviscerating their friend. And as they are kind of being eviscerated, they're already a little confused. They turn, and I think probably they're going to action disengage. And then, in a very confused sort of state of affairs, probably try to get away from this guy. Fucking right there.
that guy's kind of a dick.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Stop there. And then
That provoke attack of opportunity, the one that left.
I will, hang on. Right there. Can't quite get all the way there. And you're saying from their friend?
Yep.
Yes.
Very good.
No, that's why they took action disengage.
Oh, right.
So the ones that are still in combat, Warrior, there's one directly in front of you. And actually, let me see if they get their spray back. They do not. So as they yell, you can hear their voice shrieking from within the mask. They try to just pummel you with elements that they have still attached to them. The leather apron alight.
They're frightened.
Yeah,
They are frightened of you.
They have to move away.
They don't have to move away,
They
but
just
if they
can't
try
move
to
closer.
attack, they have disadvantage on
And to
ability
me,
checks. They have
it makes sense
disadvantage
that
on
they
ability checks and attack rolls while I'm in line of sight.
so actually, they're going to run them. They're going to turn and they rush away, which would provoke an attack of opportunity from Ori. Fucking yeah, that's why I used the
Sword! How does fucking 29 taste?
That's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
26 taste?
Roll damage.
Those tendies like it. No one
And
likes
that's,
that.
11 slashing damage.
So Ori, as they look up, they begin to scream. Fire comes out of the wounds that are actually occurring within the gas mask. So they turn to run, and as they do, you slash across using the dagger, the rapier, and you are able to just cut this X through the back of them, and they just fall. They fall into the ice, into the snow, and kind of skid 5 feet in the kind of cold floor, but they are dead. Not frightened anymore. All right, so you guys have missed my turn
you don't
all the way
know
up.
on the other side. Maybe the fear hangs on.
So now that my turn's messed up, Alina, you're kind of flying up in the air.
Yeah.
There are 3 individuals that will each take 1 attack at range against you
Okay.
using their sharpened implements. First one is going to be a natural 20. Second
That
one
does
is
hit.
going to be
did
a
put them up.
14.
14? No.
And the last one is going to be a 23.
Yeah.
Silvery barbs, the natural 20.
Hey.
A
real one.
That is a miss.
Hey!
So, only 1 hit.
Thank you.
A single sewing needle hits you and deals 2 points of piercing damage. Plus,
That. Oh, no.
22 points of necrotic damage as this little thread just follows, or sorry, not necrotic, psychic damage, as it just has this chittering. Your teeth rattle as if you are biting down on like aluminum foil. There is just this shriek that goes through your teeth and through your skull and into your mind. And Cheshire, Alina too swims into focus, and you can see the red thread goes back and into the rest of these tapestries and becomes part of a much larger whole, something so huge and complex that it's almost impossible to be able to perceive it. It is like you are so up close to something large, you're reminded of the night sky. But that is 1, 2, 3, all of what they can do. That brings us to... Oh, let me make those saving throws. Guy who stabbed his friend, that is going to be a 19.
That will succeed.
And the guy who was stabbed is going to be even higher.
He's dead.
Oh, he's dead. Doesn't hang off on the other side. On the other side, he's out of the river sticks. Wait a second.
No, I don't think he's dead. It's that guy, right?
Oh, that guy's the stabby. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think
you're right.
No, he's
He's
not dead. He's not dead. He's not
But
dead.
neither
Stop.
are they confused.
Oh, sorry.
No, they break free at the
But
end
neither
the
of them are.
turn. So that brings us.
They're both.
There's one right there.
That brings us to Billy. Alina, you're on deck.
Hey. Whilst I am upstanding, Billy's going to pass.
Quite an upstanding citizen.
There you go. Bust through Ori. And then get right there.
Oh no.
And then splish splash. Gonna take a little sword bath.
Okay.
Slash.
Rez is helping.
Taking a slash.
Rolling at
First
advantage.
one. The first one is a 25 to hit.
That is a hit.
And it's the one that's like underneath Alina.
Okay.
And then the second one, only one is at advantage. Right?
Yeah, only the first one.
Second one's a 15 to hit.
15 is a miss, unfortunately.
Well, I got one.
Yeah.
That's okay. And I am going to earn a bardic to make it a slashing flourish, which will catch the guy behind me.
Oh, that's good.
So 11 points of magical piercing damage to the guy in front of me, and 8 points to the guy behind me, and I think also to the guy in front of me. I have to double check.
Okay. Let me know. But no problem, as you are able to finally make your way
Yes,
into
also
this
to the
battle.
guy in front of me.
You are able to flourish the sword forward, and then as the person is trying to pull away, use the momentum that they generate to just swing the blade around. You can catch the person behind you, and that seems to almost splash forwards again. For those of you who are able to see Billy, this is just a complete like whirlwind of steel that is happening in the small space, and Billy seems to be glad to have their old sword back. Anything else, Billy?
That was with Mor's Modier. It's the new sword.
Okay.
But Billy is happy to have Blood Moon's relief still. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna. No.
Okay. That brings us to Alina. Valis is on deck.
All right. Well, Alina's happy to see Billy having fun, and so I'm going to. All right. So the guy right below me. I'm gonna get to about 15 feet above him.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Lightning Lure. So that's gonna be a Strength saving throw, DC 18.
What a high DC for Lightning Lure. That's a natural 20.
No! So many bars!
That's cocked.
Poor Joe.
It's all and what kind of strength saving throw?
Yeah.
All his natural 20s taken
14.
away.
And so
Nice.
that is a failure.
I thought he might be a wimpy boy. All right, so
Advantage to Valis.
Okay.
all right, so I'm gonna pull him up 10 feet. He's gonna take 2d8 of lightning damage
And then is that going to provoke an attack from Rez?
from Rez and from Billy.
Very nice.
And then I'm gonna drop him once he's taken that. So, woo, look at those numbies.
Ooh, good number.
So that's 14 points of lightning damage.
Okay, 14 points of lightning damage.
And then since I pulled him straight up, he's gonna fall
And then attacks of opportunity.
24 for Billy.
24 is a hit.
Rose gets an 18.
18 is also a hit.
12 points of magical piercing from Billy.
12 points of magical piercing from Billy.
Rez is just a little die. That's 5 piercing damage and a con save. DC 18.
So as you go forward, you cast Lightning Lure. This person suddenly recovering, looking down at their hands covered in their own friend's blood. They're like shocked, and then suddenly they are yanked just off their feet. And as they do, you could hear Rez just go, "I'm helping!" Really, that is after you skewer this individual, and they just die on your blade. And then you look down, and Rez just like stab at the corpse as it onto the ground, dead in front of you.
Good job, buddy.
Thank you. That is, Alina, anything else? That's a great move.
Thank you.
That was really good.
So I'm gonna tell Rez, great helping, keep it up.
All right, I got it. That is your turn, Alina. That brings us to Valis.
Alright, I will walk into the room. And can you describe how I feel in terms of walking into the room?
Cold.
Like, am I having a good day, bad day? No, like,
Bad day,
the
cold.
tapestries.
When
like,
you step into this space, you feel this shittering, but it doesn't feel as strong to you as perhaps some of the others. You feel it. You can kind of feel it in your teeth and in your mind, but you know, Valis, it's almost like you're used to this. It's almost like there is something familiar to this.
okay, so
Twist
I'm
of a
not
lifetime.
registering like this here as dangerous to me currently.
I wouldn't say that it's friendly, but you don't feel it as aggressively. You imagine that you would not suffer quite as bad as others should they touch that inadvertently.
Okay. Alright, then
You got nothing left to steal.
Scooped out.
Smooth.
I'm gonna bonus action tell all of my menagerie of animate objects to attack that one, and I'll just huck some stones at that one as well.
Okay. So they rush around the corner,
Pummel
they
it
throw
with,
these
like,
needles up
12
at Alina, and as they do, suddenly these tiny bits of metal, of like scrap metal essentially, just floats around this individual, and they begin to just cleave into them. Kick his ass!
What's the bonus on the stone?
So it's a plus 10 to hit,
Oh
and it's a 1d6 plus 5 for,
Wow,
for
there's the
magical
holy hand
bludgeoning
grenade.
damage.
What?
Dirty 20.
That is a hit.
I still
Oh,
guess.
the first one has advantage because of
like-
silvery barbs. Still dirty 20.
Better than my rapier.
10 magical bludgeoning.
Okay.
And then, how many throw stones can I throw if I can take 2 attacks? And I
I
have
believe
3
just,
stones?
I think
Just
one per attack.
1 per attack.
Yeah.
Okay, so can I make a second attack?
Yeah.
With okay, so second attack, even higher on the die, and that will be 9 bludgeoning.
Very nice.
I'm gonna have to roll a bunch of dice for my animate objects. Hold on.
That's the thing about animated objects. So they...
Object.
It really does.
We'll be
become
right
this
back, folks.
swarm around this individual, and then just these tiny implements. It's going to be death by 1,000 cuts, as they just make these tiny little paper cuts across this individual. The
I rolled for
Jasmines-
half of them. The lowest is 18.
Those are all hits then.
Okay. Then it's gonna be 10, 20,
You're just going to slap chop
35.
this guy.
35 regular slashing or piercing, depending on the thing you use.
So
Are they still up?
yeah, they go around, but you can see like the arms are ribbons. You can see like around where the legs are. Blood begins to run down from the top of the body. Part of the smock falls off. They are really badly hurt, but they're still up.
Alright, does a 16 hit?
It is not.
Okay, does a 24 hit?
Yes.
So
24
3,
hits.
so another, the
3
the
of
next 5 attack, 3 of them hit.
Okay.
And it does 20 damage.
20 points of damage. Valis. These things just whirl around this individual, and it is like you put them in a blender and just set it on high. Elements of their flesh go flying across the room. Alina, you see pieces like hit the door and stick as the hot flesh hits cold steel. It is disgusting and it steams a little bit. your breaths go, classic. But, anything else, Valis?
That'll be it.
All right, you blend a guy to death. That is your turn. That brings us to Cheshire. Cheshire, in this space, suddenly Alina swims into focus. And there is a harmony that was not amongst these spaces before. The chittering hasn't stopped, but you can hear from the other side of whatever this sort of fabric is a part of, a voice. And you can hear it says, "You are doing so well, dear. I'm so proud of you, Cheshire." And then it's almost like it just becomes threads that are whispering by each other, but you hear it. You're not alone in this space. Amongst the chaos, there is order for you. But that is just happening. Anything you want to do, Cheshire?
Cheshire's having a magical experience right now. And I wish to share it with all. So that is going to be a hypnotic pattern.
Oh no.
Dropped in such a way that guaranteed catches the enemy. And then as many of us as will fit in a 30-foot cube.
So pretty much everyone.
Maybe not me!
Probably not Minka.
These are.
Big guy.
Do we have a
I think
30?
so. Yeah.
Everyone else.
Special from Valis.
Yeah, look at that.
Where would you like it?
Oh, jeez. You pull up a close-up camera
We need to
here.
get a couple more of these nice heavy metal little guys.
They seem very, Oh, it's all of us.
Party.
Everybody except Minka.
For just a moment, for all of you, you can feel it is like something shifts dramatically and the chittering stops. All at once, there is just a quiet that takes over this space. And before you respond to the spell, can everybody for free make a perception check?
22.
I have guidance.
Natural 20.
Nice. 22.
22.
6.
19?
19.
Sorry, it took a little bit more time because of my guidance. 23.
23, okay.
Oh,
I didn't.
total.
I did it.
Tina is having like the most.
Such a good
31. In this moment, this thing drops across you and silence takes over. There is just chaos erupting all around you, and anybody looking in from the outside would see madness. But for all of you in this chittering space, it is just this moment of silence. And for you, Ori, across this entire space, you can see in the darkness as the threads kind of fall away and produce this almost tunnel. There is a figure that must stand 1,000 feet tall. Maybe more, maybe less. They could be smaller than an inch. It's impossible to perceive them. You are looking at them in the wrong dimension, and they are immensely powerful. But they feel as if there is something that keeps them very far away. And all at once, you hear a voice that says, "Not you." And they move your natural 20 over to Cheshire. And Cheshire, in this moment, that swims into view, and you feel, Ori, that you will be making the saving throw at disadvantage. But Cheshire, for you, you perceive this individual. And they say, "Now, Cheshire, dear, there isn't very long. You're doing wonderfully, but remember the song. Though I was trapped here in the spell, once I'm set free, I'll save you myself. I will help, Cheshire." And the strings begin to kind of by, and the voice falls into threads. And for all of you, could you please make these saving throws now? Ori at disadvantage.
What kind of save is it? Wisdom?
Is it against a charm effect?
Yes.
So you would.
Oh, so it's.
You would probably roll flat.
Advantage for hand.
Oh my god!
Wisdom.
I rolled advantage, and someone. What did I get?
So mine both fail.
What? Sorry, what was the DC?
18.
Needs to be wisdom, right?
Alina and Rez both fail.
Needs to be.
You get +3. How
Ah.
high up are you?
How high? Oh, it was probably about 20 feet.
You don't get +3.
Yeah.
21.
Okay.
Wisdom save?
Once. Billy doesn't get
rolled
caught in Cheshire.
With advantage, and I rolled 2 natural ones.
Hell yeah.
Whoa.
So what happens?
Because there's
Cheshire.
nothing in there. It's just
So,
all scoops
all
right
that
in.
you said, I'm literally like projecting that forward to show like this amazing story that is being laid out for all of us. This is awesome.
Like when I got stabbed.
Yeah.
Do we?
And so it kind of like paints itself in that way, like that's still like
So for all of you in this space, this dark, dark space, in some presence that is almost impossible to perceive or describe, you feel power, you feel something that is vast and small, and all these ends of the spectrum at once. And when you think about Cheshire, and many of you have said, we don't understand, there is just something that doesn't make sense. All at once, there is just this pinpoint. You are in the center of the calm of a storm of chaos, and there is certainly something to that. But many of you are quite confused, and suddenly the threads fall apart and are just the most tangled knot that you have ever seen. And we'll get back to that, I believe, on each of your turns. Anything else, Cheshire?
Nope, that's it.
Never felt a check so hard in my life.
Invite everybody to a tea party. What would you like to do? You pass that check, and so for you, you can kind of see everything as it normally is, but the individuals that were fighting against you seem enraptured by this space.
Really looks around. It's like,
Where is Cheshire?
You kind of turn and look, but from where you are, you can't see her.
There's also lots of pink sparkles just everywhere.
just go with it. Just go with it.
Just get the heart. Kill the others.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, you have the bag, right?
Yeah.
Please define others.
Stab Val.
Oh my god, all this time we thought Minka was the big bad.
Nobody suspects a sad boy.
Before I do that, though, I think I do want to. I want to go in bonus action, eye for detail. I am curious about what these tapestries are doing here and
Make a
why these
perception
folks
check.
are doing their, like, what they're doing with them.
Where do you want to stand?
I want to just, that's fine, because I'm going to move again. But that's,
wheel.
29.
A 29?
To see.
Okay. Bank that wheel away. For 29, as you use your eye for detail and you look into this, you can see there are elements and filaments that float free in the air. These are all damaged. These are things, but these, I will say, you notice, do not feature the likeness of Zash Vizier. These don't feature drow. They feature all manner of things, and many of them, almost innately, you can look at them and feel that they are evil. They depict individuals being tortured, individuals being captured within these iron spheres, captured in just liquid streams of magma, hot filth. You can see all kinds of these kind of depictions of the hells that have been woven from memories of individuals that at one point were quite real. You are seeing not just tapestries of dream silk, there has been intimate elements of suffering woven into these as well. And there is something sinister about these. You imagine, should you touch these, there is perhaps a sleeper madness that you would fall into.
A sleeper madness?
Sleep or madness that you might fall into.
Do I test it out?
God.
Only you can make that choice.
Ori, I don't think, would do that. I think he would stab
Seems like
them
the
and put
exact
them out of
opposite of what
misery.
Ori would
And
do.
then maybe steal their coat if it's warm enough for
Yeah.
the space.
Oh.
What you doing?
I'm gonna stab the one that I'm standing next to now.
Okay, make your attack roll. You can see this will be at advantage.
Actually, I guess I'm gonna just. If I shoot him there when he's dazed, do I have disadvantage with range?
Yeah, and from that's a mechanical thing that really kind of features you're in close. You can't like spread your arms out. You can't really get a good.
All right, then I guess I'm gonna go over to here and ready my action to fire at that person once Billy has moved out of the way and gotten the other half of the heart wrapped up.
So as you talk to Billy and you go, so get the hot whatever, you're kind of running across the floor. You're getting into position to make that plan a reality. That is your turn. You hold your action, and that brings us to Minka. Rez is on deck to help.
So, seeing the explosion of sparkles in front of her,
Yeah.
Minka's gonna whip around and look around to see if she can find Cheshire.
Okay. You look around, Cheshire's not. I don't think Cheshire's hidden, and so you actually in the room with her. She's mostly out of the actual viewpoint of this room, and so
Okay.
you can see her no problem.
Okay. Cheshire! Minka will run over to Cheshire and be like, welcome back. Can we cut these threads?
Don't do that.
I wish they might be.
That's my action, is going to be asking Cheshire if we can cut the threads.
Okay. I mean, I think it's a free action. You don't need to use that action for that.
Alright.
Yeah. And so, do you respond?
What threads? But like Just the ones in the air?
Yeah. Yeah, or the ones that are like in people? No. Okay. Because last time we had like strings and stuff, we were cutting them was a good thing.
Conversations
And this
happening
time-
over there.
Yeah.
This time it is a bad thing.
Maybe you.
So Minka will file that away and then shift back over. So how far away is Cheshire from the corridor entrance?
Probably about 10 feet, I think.
Okay.
10, 15 feet.
So she can move, I think, 5 feet into the corridor after moving back and forth.
Yeah, you run over to Cheshire and then run back.
Yeah. So
Field does, but it's not active anymore.
yeah. And then I don't think I can see anyone from here.
Probably no enemies.
Yeah, I can see regular people. And then Valis has
I
failed.
would argue against that, but okay.
No, he's super failed.
He's super failed. Minka will run up to behind Valis and then, with her action, move, and then prepare for next time, because I think it's an action to shake someone out of
Yeah,
it.
so like, you spin Valis around, getting ready to like be like snap out of it, and somehow in the 3 seconds that have passed, just drool all the way down. Dumbstruck as Valis. Double natural ones, like, yeah, it's a problem. Novocaine kind of situation. But you get ready. You're like, it's gonna take more than just a couple words.
Yeah.
That is your turn, Minka. Alrighty, that brings us to Rez. Rez, who is down there, you told him to continue to help.
Well, but he failed the.
Oh, he did. That's
Check.
right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what's happening to Rez?
Same thing.
Confused. There you go. Roll a d10.
Oh, this is awesome.
No, it's
No,
just
it's just
incapacitated.
it's just
Oh, right. Sorry. Two different things.
Is
Yeah, yeah,
there? I forget. Is there a save or?
yeah. At the end of the turn?
Okay.
It actually doesn't say that.
Oh, really?
They
Okay, let me
they
follow
remain
it for later.
like that until they either interact
Oh,
with the spell
hypnotic pattern?
ends. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Or
Okay, yeah,
someone
yeah.
shakes it out.
Exactly.
Or, yeah.
Somebody deals damage. Somebody interacts. Somebody takes an action to shake.
Yep.
Alrighty. So, Rez just kind of vibing in that space, looking around, seeing the patterns. That brings us to the top of the round and to these two Dream Silk Tenders. They are also just enraptured in the space. They did not take damage, I don't believe. Nope. So they are just hanging out. That brings us down to Billy.
They're just incapacitated and have a speed of 0.
All according to plan.
So I just we're good with it.
Just put them in the bag and make sure that they don't touch, because I feel like putting them together might be bad. I don't know. I feel like that feels like a thing. Maybe
Yeah, it
until we get to
opens
the
the door.
Well, just until we get there, because it's I don't know. It's weird dark magic shit. Just put it.
Really takes the satchel,
then
puts it on the thing.
Okay,
It's
then go get that one.
We have both.
So you take both
No, the
pieces
other
and you
person.
put them into the spot?
yes.
You take the two halves of the heart of Zosh Vizier and you place them into the corresponding slots that they perfectly fit into. And as you hold your hands with these pieces up, they just sink directly and they pull themselves out of your hand. And the door open, and almost immediately the cold is almost unreal. It rips into you, and you can feel that beyond, the space is almost inhospitably cold. You can see the entire room is just coated in snow. The floor underneath the snow, likely frozen ice. You can see just shards of ice that stick up and around, and it's dark within this space. What's your dark vision, Billy?
I won't open the door otherwise.
What's your dark vision, Billy?
60 feet.
60 feet. With 60 feet of dark vision, you see a huge stone structure that rises up, and there seems to be maybe a sarcophagus or something like that. And then, in from the light that is coming from this room, you think that perhaps you see a flash of dark steel, kind of hovering above what might be that sarcophagus-like shape. But the cold is inhospitable, and you imagine if you take any steps closer, it'll start hurting.
I took my shot.
Gotta shoot your shot.
That's a.
You miss all the shots. You
I
don't take.
believe it's a 22 to hit.
22 is going to be a hit.
It's gonna be.
And this is a sneak attack.
It's gonna be
Who did you attack?
the one.
Okay. The betrayed one?
Yes.
Very good.
And Sorry, that's 17 points of magical piercing.
Very nice.
And I am going to use a fire charge on him.
Okay.
For another 5 points of magical fire.
Okay. As you deal that damage, it seems to do the full amount that you would expect. This individual rocked by that damage, but still not dead. Is there anything else that you're doing?
That was my ready action.
Okay, that snaps them out of the stupor. You can see suddenly they are back in the game, but that is your ready action. Billy, anything else? You have opened this door.
That was my action.
Action to use an item.
Action to use item.
Bonus action to argue with Ori.
Would it be bonus? Would it be a bonus action to backhand res?
Do you have a bonus action attack?
It's like an offhand attack.
Yeah, you can do that.
Sweet.
Don't kill him.
Swing back
It's
behind
Billy
you.
backhanding somebody. It's not going to do
And it's at
much.
disadvantage.
He
I
has
believe,
10
because
hit
they're
points.
invisible.
Is that
No,
what?
he made an
right,
attack.
He's
automatically
he's
one for
not
unarmed
invisible.
strike, right?
Plus strength.
If you don't have the feats or
What was that roll?
So it's strength for an unarmed attack. Yes.
Yes.
3.
wow.
It's really, you're distracted. It's kind of a
Oh, do I
back.
get
An
plus 4?
advantage?
Oh,
and an
seven.
advantage?
7.
It's one of these kind of like,
Stuns.
but you just can't see him. You're hoping he's back there. Hope is not a guarantee. Anything else, Billy?
Why did you open this?
Open the door. Well, now it's open.
Now we're gonna wake up.
That brings us to Alina. Alina, from up where you are, you can hear bickering of children. There are still 2 of these individuals. One of them snaps to attention towards Ori. You can see the cold beyond. What do you want to do?
I would like to hover in the air and be stupefied because,
Oh, that's true.
yeah.
Can you hover if you have a speed of 0?
Hovering mechanically means that if you're
Genie
not,
flight speed, yeah, you can do that.
yeah,
Because it's not a glide.
right.
So you hover stupidified for free.
Yeah.
That brings us to Valis. Valis, you extra stupidified for free. You feel like you're hovering, but you're not. That brings us to Cheshire. Cheshire, you are in this room
actually
alone. Oh, no.
stupefied, but still having my magical experience and holding all of my unwilling captives in thrall.
Drugs.
No. So you just kind of peer around the corner. You see that they are all just woven into the space. You listen for more words, but as individuals have kind of been torn and these threads have kind of snapped, the reverberations are not as strong, and that voice seems to have faded, at least for now. But Cheshire, you get the sense that it's not gone. You get the sense that, again, there's just something very thin like a fabric separating you and them. And perhaps they'll be back again. But that is Cheshire. Ori, what would you like to do?
Well, now that it's fucking cold and the doors are open, I'm gonna kill the guy that I just shot and try to steal his fucking coat because it's probably warm enough.
Pretty good idea.
Action attack, bonus action, steal a coat.
Bonus action crime.
It's gonna be 26 to hit,
26 is a hit.
and oh, sorry, steady aim, shoot before, and then as my bonus action.
Okay.
Because I rolled it at
Advantage.
We can into the frame. There we go.
and the numbers
damn.
though.
Yeah, I know you need to know.
They're bad now.
No, baby.
20
your
points
numbies.
of magical piercing.
Okay. You deal 20 points of magical piercing again. As you do, and you are able to pierce elements of the smock and kind of tear it out, it almost pulls away, and you can see that the mask is actually almost adhered to the skin with dozens of these little threads that go into the skin itself and are attached to the mask. And as you snap pieces away, you can hear them snapping underneath. They're in pain. You can hear the muffled yells again. But anything else?
One more little charge of fire. Second charge.
As a treat.
And another 4 fire
Don't you roll
damage.
4 fire damage.
Each for that? Or consecutive charges on the same target?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
you're right. That's another 5.
And you should thank Valis because with
disguise.
5 additional damage, that is enough. And that extra flare of fire erupts from within the mask. The little elements kind of rip apart as the flame bursts from out the eyes and the mouth, and the screams are overtaken by that sound instead. There's only one of these individuals left. They are stupefied at the moment, but that brings... or anything else?
That's it for me.
Alrighty. Minka, what would you like to do?
I think it's gonna grab Alice's shoulders and be like, "Wake up!"
No problem. As an action, you shake Valis, and it takes your entire action. Sometimes it's like a little half action, and the rest is you just making sure. But this is the whole action because Valis is like gone. They come back. They speak in like Elvish, and you're like, "No, Valis," and they come back in Common, and like, finally you get Valis back. Valis
Just layers.
broken.
Excellent. And then she's gonna dodge around Valis. I go for it. In to see this guy.
Okay.
And she's gonna prep a bonus action archer shot, and then just be like, before when she gets confirmation of, are we just killing all of them?
Okay. Though there are 4 out of 5 bodies on the ground right now, you're not sure about
Last one at this point, and also you just opened.
Again, we can't go inside if the door is shut.
Holding a fire.
Go inside.
To hit them once I
Okay, no problem.
get confirmation that we are in fact killing all of them.
So you hold on to that attack. That brings us to Rez.
Who is stupefied?
Rez continues to just kind of hover in place, and that brings us to the top of the round. That brings us to Billy.
Billy's like grumbling as she's like searching around in her bag and lands on the infernal ingot.
Sure.
I was hoping to use this for a sword. Alina! Billy just chucks the ingot at. Ow!
Make an attack roll. Because this isn't really using action to shove. I love it though.
It's 19.
Wow, you're proficient in ingot. So you take this and you lob it up at Alina, and it's heavy, it's hard, it's not designed to be thrown, so it's just this big lob, and it hurts your shoulder to do, but you get a good loft on it, and Alina, you are hit directly in the funny bone, right in the elbow, and your whole arm just goes numb. It is just like a noodle attached to you, but you are at least back, and in this incredibly cold space. It has gotten colder since you were last with it.
Did I take any damage?
You do not.
Hey.
Bonus action Rez.
Go ahead, make your attack roll on Rez.
12.
12?
Damn it.
Sorry.
Oh, Billy, but he is fighting in his like weird stupor dream, some other demon right now.
Yeah, right.
I've got like
flying to the right.
Rocky Balboa thing going on. It's just like,
No worries. Anything else, Billy?
okay, can we go in now?
Okay. That brings us to you, Alina. Your arm is numb, but you are back up.
Thank you. And Alina's like, oh, you were saving that for a sword. And then, let's see. If she can't see this last guy, she's just gonna fly over here. She's gonna look around. There's only one guy left, so time to pew pew.
Yeah.
I think this is your confirmation.
And then I would say you can unleash your attack as well.
No.
Very cool. Let's do a little LDB.
LDB.
Like a Menti B, but
Yeah, no, I got you.
pretty. All right, 26 and 17.
That is a hit and a pizza.
Okay, I rolled an 18.
That's it.
Alright.
A little LDB.
I feel like LDB is a euphemism for something.
Yeah, I know, that's what I put.
18 points of force damage and 4 bludgeoning.
Very nice.
16 points of radiant damage.
Okay, so with this last individual up, they had been like stuck in the stupor. The cold has kind of washed over them. And so, Alina, the first strike that you do almost drops them down to their knees. They are stupefied, and so they can't really adjust for it. The second one almost knocks them over, and as they like adjust and pull themselves back upright, Minka, you fire the celestial arrow into them. And could you tell us how it happens, Minka?
After just like wildly looking around, just kind of like overwhelmed by the amount of things that have happened in quick succession here, she just kind of like looks and goes, and then just like shoots an arrow at the guy and just be like, I guess we're not. Everyone's dead.
And so, 2 Eldritch Blasts and a Celestial Arrow ends this individual, And in this moment, though some of you still a little woozy from Cheshire's spell, you're all now out of combat.
Is Rez the last one still stupefied?
I believe so.
Yeah.
At the end of it, when he pulls out, he does receive Bardic Inspiration.
Oh, that's so nice.
I pick up my weapon.
Oh, thanks, Cheshire.
Playing 52 weapon pickup with myself.
You started going around 1, 2, 3, like looking around for the different ones. You have a count on them. You have a favorite.
Alina's gonna look in the door, and I've got 120 feet of dark vision, Joe.
You do.
What do
Can
I
you pull
see?
your miniatures off this board, please?
Will
a
their
new board
cloaks
time.
or will their aprons provide any protection from cold?
Give me just one moment. If
That's-
you want, make a
I'm gonna like go and start checking one of their bodies to see, size that up.
sure, make an
That's
investigation check.
when I look.
Corey is now making an investigation check to check out whether or not the aprons are good.
That's
See if they.
Oh, that was not his best roll.
it was okay. It's a dirty 20.
Oh, and we're starting to
not
see
a-
some of that language on the pitch. Yeah, he really just.
20
It's
is
not often when the
fine.
players talk back to the announcers, but you know, it happens.
You're seeing some of that frustration.
I'm
really bleeding
literally
through.
right here.
He did just get out of rehab for anger.
But
He
honestly,
came right here from his first
Don't
session.
slander or lie.
It's like libel is written, so it has to be slander.
I was just saying,
Yeah.
a certain
NPR
Jonah
voices.
Jameson.
If I print out the transcription of what you just said, does that count as
No,
libel?
it needs to be like something that's published.
Okay, well then
Slander is
slander. Alright.
Wait, does being on the stream count as published?
And you know what I call that? It's
Written
semantics. Yeah,
Otherwise,
that's
it's
true, I guess.
Well, we are
So
nothing
for-
if not semantically correct
Well,
here on
his-
NPR.
for the chat, Joe just had to open his back curtain like as wide as he
Oh
could.
my
It happened yesterday.
my
things
goodness.
are glowing, glorious.
Look at her.
Oh, it's so cold.
Breathe on it, it will move the snow. Just be
Don't
very
breathe!
Mild.
Ooh,
No one do it.
ooh, this is boss battle.
Unless you cast Gust of Wind, then you can breathe.
This is 100% a boss battle, guys.
I mean,
This is a boss chamber.
I think it's a shopping episode.
You want to pull the corner closer
Probably
towards
just
you?
like the
So it's-
Exactly what you can see in front of you right here. Alina, as you peer out, you can see a little further than the rest of your compatriots. And you can see there is a sarcophagus that is kind of put up and on this big stone pedestal. You can see floating above that sarcophagus a gleaming sword. You can see this particular blade, forged from blackened steel. This is curved. It is almost shaped like a cutlass or a scimitar. You can see the edge, even at this distance, reflects an amethyst-like purple along the edge. The handguard, you kind of pull into it. You intuitively know it is made from ebony grown in the Feywild. And it seems to have some kind of a almost fire-like glow within. And then, as that fire-like glow kind of turns with the spinning blade, you can see it glistens off the icy hide of an insectoid, fiendish creature. You can see almost golden eyes that glow with this kind of sinister light. And in their hand, they hold a silvered spear that you can see seems to almost make the air around it freeze. There is intense kind of power to this individual. And they look, and as they look at you, you could feel the temperature almost just drops 10 degrees. But they wait.
Billy, sword, Billy.
I know. Are we in the room?
So the door is the one nearest you. You are about like 10 feet into there. The chamber kind of connects there at the front of the metal doors and go straight on in there.
How am I feeling hunt-wise?
Hunt-wise, in the back of your mind,
feeling hunty?
all that you can see, it's like your vision closes in and there are drums that just kind of beat, and it is your heart, but it is also just the nature around you struggling to break free of the ice and the cold. There is an unnatural just stillness in the air that this creature has brought over it, and stillness is not what nature is all about. You need to bring back the wild that was once here.
Okay.
And you feel, with beyond a shadow of a doubt, that should you slay this fiendish being, that you will be welcome to the hunt.
Okay, so Alina's like, Come on.
Wait.
No, let's go. Let's go.
Wait, it's going to be there in 3 seconds if you just wait.
What are we waiting for?
It's really cold.
She's doing that thing that runners do, like at the traffic light.
Okay, no problem.
Really fucking cold in there, though.
Before we go in,
Do we have anything
I'd
to
like
deal with
to
the
get a
cold?
look at. I'd like to try to size this thing up if
Make
the
a
door's
perception
open.
check.
Cheshire. Are these the threads you've been seeing?
21.
21. Okay.
But different.
With the 21, you peer in and you can see this individual. There is an aura of absolute cold that spreads out probably about 60 feet from him. The air changes and you can see it is just constantly snowing in this 60-foot sphere that almost encompasses this whole room. You imagine getting within that space will physically hurt you. It is so cold. You imagine the moisture in your skin will freeze, your skin will split, and you will take damage the longer that you are in there. And something, as you look at them, tells you that in the darkness here, there is just kind of low light from the crystals beyond that seem to be so cold that there is some kind of a, like, chemical reaction that is causing light. There is something they can see in the dark. They don't need this light to see. These golden eyes glow, and they regard all of you across this space.
They know we're here.
Question.
Yes.
Before, when we were in the Feywild and it was cold, there was this thing happening where there was, like, Alina seemed to be giving off, like, warmth and this, is that still appearing to happen?
No.
Damn, that's crazy.
It's freezing here.
Okay.
And all the more reason
worth a
to
shot.
know that you need to bring that back to this place. This is the source of all of this cold. This is the source of the ice, not just here, but on the Feywild as well.
Now that all of the dream tenders are dead, do the tapestries still emit that horrible
They do.
chittering? All right. And they are all, as far as we can tell, in various stages of incomplete?
Correct.
Okay. Minka's gonna look at the guy that she just felt, and she'll do something similar to Ori, where she's gonna just, like, go through their stuff and see if there's anything that we can either use or
Oh yeah, I did that.
severed threads with.
It was while you were getting the map.
It's hard for me to tell sometimes if I'm not there for it.
Yeah, that was on me.
So go ahead and make an investigation check. I'm going to go through their belongings, see what they're doing.
That is going to be a 24.
Okay. With the 24, you go through this individual stuff, and there is not a whole lot to them. They don't have, like, a wallet on them. They're not carrying around, like, a bunch of keys or anything like that. There are mundane sewing supplies
Okay, they're all
tucked into
mundane.
a variety of different things. And here and there, as you kind of unzip, you begin to feel the chittering. And you never touch the strings that are within because you know that that will hurt you. In fact, it might hurt your brain. The actual ability to think might be harmed by touching this. And so with your check, you don't inadvertently become sort of in contact, but there are little bits of it away.
Okay.
You would want to be really mindful about how you handle it, should you choose to.
I think I'll call Cheshire over and be like, these threads?
Are their aprons warm?
Their aprons are pretty cold to the touch.
Damn.
The leather itself is, like, cracked in places. It's not a warm weather leather.
Damn.
Are these what you've been seeing? Yes, but no. Similar.
If we try to approach that thing at close range, it is going to freeze us nearly instantly.
I don't need close range.
Also, I think it's going to probably have some way of dimming the already relatively dim light in there because I think it can already see us and knows that I think it's waiting for
Yeah,
us.
I think it
That makes
noticed that
sense.
the
We can
big
see
door
it.
opened.
Right, but I think it's going to make it so that we can't see it. Or at least I won't be able to see it very far because I don't know about you, but I can only see so far in dark.
Does anyone have any spells for light? I mean,
Make a
Right, so I'm saying
Shine is very
this is
bright.
why I say we don't rush in. We take a moment to plan.
It's kind of too late.
as
It's
you can
right
see,
there.
I'm not rushing.
He's not
Nobody's
going
rushing.
anywhere. He's.
So what's the plan?
I'm just take a breath. It'll be better for
I'm
you.
waiting.
Okay.
This is growth.
Okay, we planned the plan. Now what is the plan?
Well, I think the best way to approach this is to all attack it head on by doing all of your spells however you can at the same time to try and stun it
What's the signal?
Contain it. I guess when we go in there. But again, yes, question?
Mr. Ori, I have a question. I would maybe not stab it.
Right, well, that's kind of also why I don't think getting close enough to stab it is a good idea.
Nope, I'm a long range person. You know me. Yep.
It's not being held by the creature, right? I can't quite see it.
You said it was like floating above the sarcophagus?
Correct, and you're the only one that can see it at this distance, but yeah, you can see that there is that kind of
I describe what I see.
Can we get someone like Billy into sword range? And
I can thunderstep you up there if you want.
It's real cold.
Right.
It's gonna be cold no matter what.
Again,
we need to
but
fight fast.
Back to my point, I think the best bet would be to lure the creature away from the area where the sword is contained so that Billy can go and get the sword.
Do you think he can hear us?
Probably.
Yes, now
Yes.
knows our plan?
100%.
Yes,
I think that
probably.
would work to our disadvantage.
Right, so now we have to do...
You glance into the room, you have the vision, you can see this individual, and when Val says, do you think you see the golden eyes?
Okay, he definitely knows.
Mink is gonna lean over.
Billy's been prepping an Eldritch Blast.
She's gonna grab her
It's
shoulders
visible.
and cast protection from good and evil.
Thank you.
Okay.
Let's go. Okay, that's really good. Thank you. And then if I see, I will also boop. If I see her getting one up, I'll boop also.
I'm going to take a
Beep and
moment
boop.
to flash memorize exactly the positions of everything in the room so that when the lights go out, I don't die.
What is it?
You have a reasonable remembrance of what this room is. It's better than most. It is not a perfect flash blueprint of what the room looks like. But that's okay.
My daredevil senses on.
So, it sounds like we have people preparing for an Eldritch Blast. It sounds like we're preparing for combat.
Yeah, it does appear to be that
Yes.
time.
I have these gloves, the OK gloves from Eric the Glover. Will they help with the cold?
So, if you put them on, very slightly. But mechanically, no. So, because it is 8:35 and we're about to jump into this combat, we are going to step away for a quick break, and then we will come back, and you will begin the fight against the Frozen One. Thank you for sticking with us. We'll be back in just a little bit.
Oh, look at that.
And we're back. Thank you for sticking with us through the break if you did. If not, welcome to D&D. And when we left off, you were all beginning to ready your various spells and actions. And so we'll start off rolling for initiative against the ice devil known as the Frozen One.
Whoa.
Yeah. We finally got a name.
I feel like
It's a title, but we got a name. Oh, that's much less good.
Alrighty.
Much less good.
Anybody natural 20?
Nope, much lower than that.
25 to 20?
Yeah, Rez is at a 21.
I'm ready, Alina.
22!
Oh, I'm really ready, Alina!
Goddamn, Rez.
Great. Rez up with the 22. Layer actions will be
that's
occurring
right.
on initiative order 20. 20 to 15.
I have 18.
18 for Cheshire. Alrighty. Anybody 15 to 10?
10.
Alright, 10
What?
for Belle.
11?
11 for Billy. Alrighty, 10 to 15. Ooh, okay, 5 to 1.
What? No.
Oh, 6.
You
Sorry.
skipped 5 to 10.
I
Yeah.
like those numbers. 8 for Alina.
With a natural 1, 6.
Alright, and then Minka.
6.
Who is the, I would assume Ori.
I would hope Ori.
Yeah, so the way that this works out, Rez is starting us off the fastest of the fast, the most furious of the furious, followed by the lair
is a great
and its associated
start, guys.
actions, followed by Cheshire, then the Frozen One, then Billy, then Valis, then Alina, then Ori, then Minka, and then at initiative order 1, Archivist, well, the other individuals.
I'm sorry.
Sir?
We will begin with Rez. Rez goes, Alina, what am I supposed to do here? This is a lot. And they kind of defend their space.
Yeah.
That is Rez's turn. That brings us to the lair. So at the top of the round, you can see as you begin to cast these spells, this ice devil takes this spear and just points it at the ceiling. And this huge stone cracks.
Oh, no.
Where's that little circle thing? Can I have the template?
You're gonna move templates.
This will actually work. So, assuming that you are all standing in this doorway,
Yep.
Cheshire would still be further behind.
Alina is
Yeah, I was still
100%
by
right
the
in the
body.
doorway.
Minka, I would imagine, are probably behind.
I was
And
still by the body that I had been trying to.
Alina's like in the doorway.
so, Alina and Billy for sure,
regret
charging
to
up her
say.
Eldritch Blast. I believe, Valis, are you up there as well?
Yeah, I'm up there as well.
All right, so the three of you, can you please make dexterity saving throws as the ceiling falls down and begins to fall?
spell?
This is not a spell.
We're not even in the lair
Oh,
yet.
no. All right. What kind of save?
Dexterity save.
Okay. 5,
5.
You get +3.
8.
8,
16.
16,
Thank you for the +3.
Welcome. 13.
13. So, I believe everybody fails. And so as this falls down, you are all forced to hurl yourself out of the way, lest this collapses and absolutely crushes you. And in doing so, you strike the icy floors of this cavern. Each of you can put yourself 15 feet into the room.
Yeah.
And did any of you roll above a 15?
16.
16. Billy, you can choose where that is. The rest of you, it just needs to be one of those 3 spaces that is directly in front. You can stay there too if you want, Billy.
Yeah, switch Billy and Alina.
Okay.
I want a more
you go.
direct straight line.
Billy, you just kind of push Alina off into the left and you put yourself dead center. But that is the layer action. That brings us to Cheshire.
I'm still back around the corner, so I can't see any of this.
You probably did hear collapsing stone.
And probably see some, right?
Yeah, I could see.
Probably see
So-
like here, right? Bodies.
Yeah. Probably still my left corner.
What happened to time?
Somewhere.
Keep going.
You provide some inspiration, question mark, to Valis. You kind of tuck yourself back. It is freezing and bitterly cold. And I would say for the 3 of you who have been like kind of pushed into this room, all of you can feel that when you begin your turns, you are going to be taking some damage. But for you, you give some inspiration to Valis. That is your turn, Cheshire? That's it. Alright, that brings us to the Frozen One. So as you all dodge out of the way of this stuff, the individual, this insectoid, almost ice-like carapace kind of clicks as they move, and they call out across this icy space. Oh, good. Hang on one sec. Who speaks Undercommon?
I do.
Okay. So Valis, you are the only person that understands this individual as they call out to the only language that they imagine that you all share in common that they have. In Undercommon, they say, "You couldn't have helped me anymore if you tried. Wall of ice." And they reach out an arm.
I recognize the concept of this spell.
Yes.
Straight there.
Yes.
This will be going over Alina and Billy. And this
Cool.
This is a 10-foot wide, 30-foot long wall of ice that erupts magically into space as the air grows incredibly cold in that spot. Can the three of you Billy and Alina, can you make dexterity saving throws, please?
Is this against a spell?
This is against a spell.
Hooray.
You get +3.
Okay.
Weird, I feel.
Dirty 20.
Dexterity saving throw?
Success. Yep.
11.
11, that is a failure. So as this wall of ice just begins to erupt all around you, Alina, the hunt just pulses through your veins. You can almost feel this occurring before it happens. You are able to dodge out of the way, but Billy is not benefiting from that. And Billy, you feel the ice closes in around you. Whoops.
Yep.
Oh, shoot. Does anybody have... I just dropped a bunch of my dice. Yep, thank you. 1d6 I could borrow? Oh, no, never mind, I got it. Okay, so Billy and Alina.
That is a lot of d6.
Okay, so that is going to be 10, 20, 27.
Oh, fuck.
It's like a big block of ice landing on you, like a 10 by 5.
Like a Mario block of ice.
You are taking 49 points of cold damage.
Objection! My aura of warding gives her resistance to that damage.
There you go. So halved for you, and then quartered for, or halved and then halved again for you, Alina. As you were able to jump out of the way. The wall does just crawl up and around. It does push you, Billy, out to the other side and separates you and Alina on either side of this wall. And then there is just this huge chunk of super frozen air. You get the sense that when you break this ice, the air will remain super frozen. It's not going to go away. It sheds this awful cold, and that is going to be their action. They are then going to jump down from this platform. And with Alina off to the side, begin to charge towards you, Alina. The spear is held back behind them. They rush towards you. And Valis, in Undercommon, you can hear, "I claim you first." And they begin to charge. That is all they can do on their turn. That brings us to Billy. Valis, you're on deck.
Ow. Okay. Billy is hiding. Great. Billy is going to come forward. Perfect. And
About 15.
okay, and let's just go the remaining 15 this way.
About
Billy,
here.
for what it's worth, when you start your turn as well, so cold is it in here that you do take 3 points of cold damage?
Heard.
Can you make a Constitution saving throw too?
Fuck.
At the start of the turn,
Yep.
you get +3.
At the start of the turn, yeah, because I was right there.
Yeah.
Woo! Not gonna help either way. That's a 9.
The ice around you in the air freezes against your skin, but it penetrates the skin itself. It freezes and sets into your muscles. The lactic acid builds up, and your movement speed is reduced by 10 for this round.
Go back to. Okay. Well. God damn it. Oh god, that fucks with my plans. Let's do a spell. Let's do a Misty Step and land behind him.
Okay.
Ooh.
And then we are going to slash.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. The highest one was a 16.
You swing, and without even breaking stride, the spear in natural form comes up and blocks that blow. They continue to run. Anything else, Billy?
Nope.
At the end of your turn is a legendary action.
Fuck.
They continue to move.
Now.
An additional 35 feet.
Attack of
10,
opportunity?
15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And Alina, they're closing fast.
Hello.
Where was that? 26.
A 26 is a hit.
There you go.
Where were you?
Sorry, I'm late.
I could have used a smite. That is 14 points of magical piercing.
14 points of magical piercing damage. That seems to do the full amount that you would expect. You do pierce through, but you barely hit. And Billy, for what it's worth, in that moment, they almost parry your blow without even looking. It is like a natural honed instinct from thousands of years of fighting and war where there are always combatants around and this is easy for them and they just run right by. But anything else? Or that's your reaction.
Yep.
That is a movement. That is your turn, Billy. That brings us to Valis.
Ori?
I think Ori might be up. Unless that's wrong.
I rolled a 6.
Mayor, Cheshire,
I rolled a
Billy,
6.
Valis, Alina, Ori.
Like plus. I rolled a 1 plus 5.
So I believe that's me. Just to make sure I understand how much I can move this round.
Sure.
That's like an 18 on the die.
An 18 on the die, that is a success. You do not take any kind of frozen sort of like movement reducement. You do take 10 points of cold damage.
That's so much!
It is bitterly cold in here. Valis, the cold is unholy in nature. This is coming from an infernal source. This is bitterly cold for you.
Okay. And it's not a spell or anything, right?
No.
It's just
This is just an aura of
bad
bitter
juju.
cold.
4, 5, 6. I'll move around
Okay.
so I can see him. And, let's see. Is this thing immune to being charmed?
Are you doing something that would determine that?
Yes, I'm gonna cast a spell and it doesn't work. Oh wait, oh, he just automatically succeeds. Okay, so I'm gonna take out one of the beads from the amulet, and I am going to take out the black amber bead and point at him and crush it. And then I'm gonna say back in Undercarmen, hold on, I had something to say, I forgot what it was.
That was really cool.
We're not stuck, you're not, wait. Oh, it's a code in here.
Okay, no problem. You crush it. You cast Mental Prison?
Mental prison. So, is it immune to being charmed?
It is not.
Okay, then it has to roll a DC 15 intelligence saving throw.
No worries. That is going to be 19.
That is a pass.
Okay.
And so he will just take ooh, that's good rolls. 20, 29, 36 psychic damage.
And that does the full amount that you would expect. You can see for the first time, he kind of blinks and breaks stride. You can see almost winking away elements of ice that get into his eye. He surges forwards, but that does hurt. Anything else, Valis?
So that was my bonus action. For my main action, I am gonna cast. Let's see. I'm gonna cast Aura of Vitality.
Okay.
So, healing energy. So I'm gonna cast that, and I'll be concentrating on that. And I can't use it this turn, but on future bonus actions I can use it.
No problem. All around you, the cold is sunk in, and with it there comes this hopelessness that kind of creeps in alongside it. Beyond just being cold, it's almost hard to think, it's almost hard to feel, but you steel yourself, and instead of just the boldness that comes from your aura normally, you infuse it with this element of vitality that you will your friends to receive. And that begins to radiate off you like this magical aura. Anything else, Valis?
No,
Alright.
that's it.
That is your turn. That brings us to Alina.
All right.
Or you're on deck.
I turn to face him, and I'm like, I can't understand you, and I cast harm from my waistcoat.
Speak common!
All right, so that's gonna be a con save DC 18.
Material plane, speak common, damn it!
Oh my god.
That is a meets it, beats it, plus 18.
All right, so that's gonna be 14d6 halved. Just roll that on the old internet machine here. So 43 halved to 21.
And what kind of damage?
Necrotic.
very close.
It doesn't do the full amount that you would
worried about
expect.
that,
And
yeah.
so though it does kind of roll across them, it seems to almost just fall off and into the ice. That necrotic damage just scattering like black frost. But
Like-
still a little bit.
Where'd Rez wind up? I think we ever really placed him.
He's just in the background.
Outside there. Okay. To Rez,
Unless you
she's
wanted
gonna
him to
be
make a
like,
save.
what?
Unless you want to make a save to not have him get squished by the ice.
No, he can live. He can live. To Rez, Alina's gonna be like, help the others find a way to get in somehow. And then, as her move, she's gonna like fly in like a little parabola, to be like, let's see what's here.
So you just Peter Pan over the frozen one.
Yeah, and end up somewhere like here.
Okay.
So I don't have my graphing calculator to, for the parabola, but
No worries.
and then she's gonna be like, "You want to dance?" Because she's never been in the hunt before. She doesn't know what cool things she should say.
You're trying things out. You're seeing what's
Yeah, like throwing seeing what sticks.
You said,
Yeah.
I don't understand you, and then you
Yeah.
try to use some like fancy words, maybe not the approach, but we'll see. Anything else, Alina?
Nope.
Question, Joe.
Yeah.
For chance, could this wall of thing spell be a concentration spell?
That's a great question. So, as a legendary action, they
Oh no.
and just follow you. Just rushing after you. And
they do
I didn't go far enough.
Looks like they want to go for a slow
They're
number.
pretty mobile.
Pretty good at dancing.
They are
But they
very.
rush over across there.
They
There's your
have
turn.
disadvantage on all attacks against
Sachet.
Lena.
He's a
Brings us
scary
to
guy.
Ori.
Yeah.
They have what?
They have disadvantage on all attacks against Lena.
Very nice.
So on the other side of this now,
That is,
ice
the next
wall.
All attacks because she currently has protection from evil and good on her.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
I had kind of forgotten about that, so thank you again.
Look over
very
to
helpful.
fucking.
Ori, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna look over to Cheshire and look over to Minka as I'm standing over the body in the other room with the fucking ice block in front of me and be like,
Dispel it.
Is there any other way into this room?
As far as you can tell, no, there is just a wall of ice blocking your way.
You can try
Alina told me to help you get through. What can I do?
I hesitate to say this, Ori, but I need orders.
I need more than 6 seconds for
To the
this
plan,
one.
Ori.
What are you doing, Ori?
Draw him out.
Readying to go in guns ablazing when the ice wall goes down.
Okay. You say, you know what? I'm gonna outweight this wall.
I'm kind of like, I'm like,
How this plays out.
I don't know what to do with this.
Point it out.
Ori, that's basically a free action, but no problem. That brings us to Minka. Minka, Ori panics next to you. What do you do?
And Mika's gonna see Ori's panic and be like, it's okay. And then she's gonna turn towards the wall in front of her. And is this a mundane wall as far as she can tell?
Sure.
So she's gonna walk up to the rock part of the wall, not the ice part of the wall,
Okay.
and cast Stone Shape upon it, and Stone Shape a door into existence.
Absolutely.
Guns ablazing!
Ori just goes, what? And Minka, you go, don't worry. You stop the wall, and suddenly
I'm running in.
opens up the
Amazing.
door. And Ori, you can use your held action to just run in this.
Guns ablazing?
Guns ablazing.
Take your
Guns
shot.
ablazing.
Yeah, sure, take your shot.
Where'd you put the wall or the door?
I
Like
don't know where. So Minka would be on the more left side of the
Okay.
ice, so she
So
doesn't
for
know
what
where
it's
it
worth,
is.
when
Probably
you
come
open
in
this
this
door, directly dead center, there is a huge crystal of ice, and it's not insurmountable. You can squeeze through it, but that's difficult terrain.
Wait, so which side is it on?
The worst side?
Wait,
Yeah.
No.
It was
left.
my left. I apologize.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah,
Okay.
So
No
be
worries, you're
this
fine.
side.
So you run
Stage
in this door.
left, stage
You
right. I
do
don't know.
not see this
That
creature.
side. Where's
Six, seven. Yeah, I get there.
You see nothing. You see Billy off in the corner. You can see Valis is standing right there, just radiating his energy, but you do not see this ice devil. They're gone.
That's it.
All right, so that was my action to cast Stone Shape.
Yeah.
As my free action, I will change to the form of the dragon to improve my concentration abilities. And then I'm going to come into the space, and then I'll bear this way, Matt's way, And then come into Matt's way. But I would like to be away from the stone wall. Thank you.
Okay.
Or
barrel roll.
Probably this one here.
Yeah.
Are you walking or are you floating?
I am walking because
you're
my
probably
ability to walk is much better than my ability to float.
Yeah.
It is a very slow float. I still have my bonus action, but coming in here and looking around, I don't really see anything that I could use bonus action wise, so I will not.
Okay, no problem. It's free to not. You make your way in, you look around, you still don't see this creature, but you do see that Oria's in here. You can barely see the kind of like radiation coming off of Valis, this aura, and then you can see off in the corner, maybe depending on your dark vision, Billy, from the dim glow of these crystals beyond. But that is your turn, Minka.
Yep.
That brings
could you
up
slap a concentration marker on me? I did ask for it. I apologize.
perception. Minka, are you glowing?
I am glowing. Because I am in dragon form. I am a shining beacon on the other side of the ice.
Suddenly,
Stacks on stacks.
there is a burst of pain as something small, almost like a crystal of ice, just strikes you in one shoulder, and then another, and you take 22 points of force damage as magic missile hums from somewhere out in the darkness, somewhere in this space, and just kind of whips you. Can you make a concentration saving throw, please?
I sure can. Because I am in dragon form, it defaults to 10 as the base, plus 6, and it's
The
half,
real
right?
battle.
Correct.
So 11, which 16 beats.
Very nice. So you are able to hold on to this concentration, but almost immediately, the second that you begin concentrating, it's like somebody just reaches out of the darkness and tries to slap that away. There is somebody else who is very familiar with casting in this area, but you don't see them. That brings us to the top of the round.
Ow.
The cold one, or the frozen one, gets all of their legendary actions back. That brings us to Rez. You have given Rez these instructions to help, and Rez goes,
Well, there's a way through,
and then
so
flies through this door as Mika finally makes one. They burst forwards and kind of emerge following Ori, I would imagine.
yeah, he's gonna try to get up close to the enemy, which is his usual spot.
Okay.
So he can use his whole action, right?
Yeah, so you could probably get to the pillar closest to that person, anywhere within 5 feet of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like right there.
Yeah.
And he's
there.
I gotta get in shape.
Snow like going underneath him, just parting with every heavy wind flap. You see like a little line from the belly every now and then kind of dip low enough because they are barely keeping it up. This is a lot of movement for them.
Oh, buddy.
And you haven't stopped between combats, and usually they at least die between, but they are
There's
still
a break.
up. They haven't had to run this continuously for a long time.
Yeah.
That is Rez's turn. That brings us to the lair action.
The lair.
So, this ice devil looks at you, Alina. Then you speak to them. You say, I don't understand you. You yell at them. And in Undercommon, they say, too easy. And they snap. And Alina.
Oh, no.
Dexterity. Or sorry. Can you get a Constitution saving throw, please?
Is it against a spell?
It is not. It is
Nah.
a lair action.
Don't like that. Don't like that. Oh no. 9.
You take 19 points of cold damage as in this moment they snap and the air itself gets even colder. It is like the aura around them just super focuses in on you. But that is the lair action. That brings us to Cheshire. Cheshire, a door opens to your right.
Seeing that, I am going to cast Synaptic Static,
Okay.
centered on him. So that is an intelligence saving throw.
Okay. You peer in the crack between the wall of ice and the door. You have dark vision?
I do.
Okay, so you can barely see this individual. What kind of save is that?
It is an intelligence saving throw. That's you, Alina, as well, Alina. It's a 20-foot radius. And potentially Rose, too.
You said this is a spell, right? So not
That is only going to be an 8 for them.
That is a failure.
14.
That is also a failure, sorry, Alina.
It is a spell for what it's worth.
It is.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
You said intelligence?
Yes.
Not my highest saving throw. She's about to die.
Nah, just like give your brain a little frazzle. Just a little zzz.
It's a little gummy.
Just like rubbing her
28 points of psychic damage.
Very nice.
Say
In that
28.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Oh, in that moment, they burn one of their legendary resistances, succeed on that save, and only take half. But they watch as Alina just drops in front of them. Their head just kind of tilts to the side.
I believe that Rez pops out of existence.
And in Undercommon, they turn, yes, and in Undercommon, they turn and they look and they peer through this crack. You make eye contact with these golden eyes, and you can hear in Undercommon only one of these words you likely understand, Cheshire, but you, Valis, here. One of Mythix's delightful. But that is Cheshire. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, as a legendary action.
For the record, we have proved him wrong. He said we couldn't make this any easier for him. Hold my beer.
15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Take his full movement with a legendary action towards Valis. All right, and that brings us to the frozen one. So now he's going to use his regular movement.
Yay!
And he's going to get right up there next to you, Valis. And in Undercommon, they will say, I've already got one of your kind. No need for duplicates. And they are going to take this spear, and as they bring it back, the left hand comes up with the claw, and from underneath and behind, the tail strikes out as well. They take a multi-attack. And first, Valis, as they try to bite you, that's only a 13 to hit.
Miss.
All right. They snap. You bring up the shield. Their teeth almost break across, but almost instantly ice grows back in place, and the claw swipes out. That is going to be 21 to hit.
Hit.
Valis, you are taking... 15 points of piercing damage, plus 15 points of cold damage, as they slash across with this claw, and then finally the tail whips out from underneath. That is only going to be a 17 to hit.
Miss.
All right, and it just chromes off your shield. You were able to block the vast amount of this damage as it comes in, but this aura now sinks around you. But that is the Cold One's turn. In Undercommon, oh, they already spoke to you. That brings us to Billy. Valis, you're on deck. Billy, behind you, Alina just drops. They don't even take a strike from this individual. It's like they look back at them, and Alina just falls.
Do I see that happen?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Billy's just gonna look over at the ice devil and kind of hiss. Your edges are freezer burnt. And that's wisdom saving throw, please.
Do they need to understand that?
Edges are freezer burnt.
That is a natural 1.
Beautiful. It has disadvantage on the next attack roll.
They will actually burn one of their legendary resistances.
Nice.
To succeed on that instead. And it's almost as if they just don't really understand what it is that you're saying.
Great.
Anything else?
I'm glad that I made it burn a legendary resistance. And then Billy looks over at Alina and says, "Get up!" And that's a healing word. Thank you.
Suddenly, it's like the drums just one more time beat, and you surge back to life. Alina, as you return, this hunt is not yet over. You look around and you can see the devil stalks towards Valis.
10. Nice girl.
Anything else, Billy?
Billy is going to use her movement to get as close as she can to the base of the gazebo. No.
Gazebo. Oh, I'm sorry.
The stone ritual gazebo.
Yeah.
So you rush up to this stone structure. You can see this is carved from one single piece of stone, and it rises up to a platform where there is a sarcophagus.
Actually, you know what?
The sarcophagus itself, open, empty. But hovering above the empty space, there is a gleaming weapon. And anything else, Billy?
That is all.
As a legendary action, this individual looks at you, Valis, and says, "Go away." And they flick their arm and they extend their ice hold 10 more feet. Oh no. Can you make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Okay, that's better than banish.
Is he within 30 feet of me?
You do have.
Oh, it's not Tomb of Ice.
No. Yes, sorry, you're over here now.
Yeah, I will use a reaction to give Valis a +4.
Okay, I rolled a 4, but with Bardic and with that's gonna be a 21.
That is going to be a 21. 21 is a success, so you are able to dodge out of the way. You are only taking 34 points of cold damage, halved to 17.
Is this a spell?
This is a spell.
Do I have it resistance to spells?
Correct. And so that is halved yet again to 8. And so as this cold damage shunts you out of the way, the innate protections that you have from magic do keep you a little bit safe. But you are shunted just a little bit off into the side, and that does provoke an attack of opportunity from the Ice Devil. That is going to be a 26 to hit.
That hits.
As they strike you now with the claw, that is going to be only 13 points of slashing damage, plus 13 points of cold damage. But they lash out at you. You are shoved out of their grasp. That is their legendary action. And that brings us to you, Valis.
That fucking hurt.
Fuck 'em up!
I just have to check something. Okay, I'm still concentrating.
Very nice.
So I will.
Oh, good concentration checks all around today.
I took Warcaster because I want to be concentrating a whole bunch. Focus. And I'll use my bonus action to just heal 7 to myself with the aura. And Valis is looking pretty hurt, but he is going to attack this guy twice. So first attack is a. Ooh, that's probably gonna miss.
You are starting your turn. I actually forgot. Within 60 feet of this individual.
Yeah.
So Valis, can you make a can you make a con saving throw, please?
17.
That is a meets it beats it. So you don't take any additional damage. You do not lose any speed off of your movement.
Thank goodness for that.
Yeah.
So my first attack roll was a tragic 11 to hit.
11 is a miss.
Okay. All right then. Second attack. 12.
That is also a miss. As they strike you, you are barely alive. And so
I am barely alive.
are holding a sword that you can barely lift, and you swing. It is slow, it is delayed. They move with practice. They have seen combat not just once or a dozen times or 100 times. They have fought thousands of times. And this is practiced in a way that you have never seen. Anything else, Valis?
No.
Okay. That brings us to Alina. Although they are going to use a legendary action, their final one of this round, to take an attack against you, Valis. Valis does a 12 hit.
Oh, that misses.
All right. And so again, they swing, but in this space, as the ice moves you, and there is just movement happening all around, they almost roll a natural one. That brings us to Alina.
All right, you dickhead.
Alina,
Right.
can you make a con save?
Yeah. It's against the spell.
It's not.
No,
It's just cold.
I'm just near him. 13.
13, that is a failure.
Yeah.
Alina, you got lucky and you take 5 points of cold damage, and your movement is reduced by 10.
Okay, I'm gonna fly 20 feet up in the air and be like, oh, right, this is why I don't usually, stay pretty close to enemies.
As you fly up in the air and you have that superior dark vision and the glow of the light, you do notice on the very back of the room, over this gazebo of stone, there is a cage. And in that cage, there does seem to be a humanoid, and you can almost swear that you've seen these robes before. In this darkness, hard to make out too many details without taking a check, but something familiar.
Alina's like, guy in a cage! And then, it's a tactical call out.
Yeah.
Come on. And then we're gonna go ahead and cast Psychic Lance at the guy.
Very nice.
So that's gonna be, oh shoot.
Or is it a weapon attack?
No, that's gonna be an intelligence save, DC 18, which he probably has pretty good.
You might.
He does.
Yeah.
That is a 12.
Ooh.
And so they will use their final legendary resistance to pass on that instead.
Okay. So, I think that's a saber suck. Oh no, they're still, alright, so he's still gonna take half of 7d6 psychic damage. I'm sorry, 8d6. 37 psychic damage halved to... 17? 8.
37 halved? 18.
18.
So you throw the psychic lance, it like vibrates the air, the snow itself kind of shatters around it, and it does hit. They are able to shrug it off by pure virtue of the sort of meanness within them, but it hurts. And you can see this does attract their attention.
Mother. He's like, crap. She's going to try to remember whether she has any potions in her bag. Yes, I'm gonna drink a potion of healing.
All right. So you take out this cork and just drink this in a bonus action. You can go ahead and roll that healing, but anything else, Alina?
Nope, that's it.
All right. That is your turn. At the end of your turn, all of your actions have been used. Okay, that's all I could do. That brings us to Ori.
All right, I'm gonna run past the new wall and be like,
Okay.
Make my way.
And Ori, can you make a
He's
con
got you
save to
doing
start?
cardio.
Making my way.
He's still going down the way too.
Okay. That's
His gun does blaze though.
It's true, it does.
18.
With an 18, the ruby crescendo, the magical fire within seems to be keeping you warm. You are not affected by this bitter cold. You are able to move normally.
Cool. I'm gonna move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's enough. Bonus action dash. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Get onto like this spot here.
Okay.
Can I see him now? I think I have.
You absolutely can. He has probably like a quarter cover, but aside from that, yeah, you have pretty clear sight on him.
I would end up here then.
Okay.
One over instead of up. And then I think I have better line of sight. And I'm gonna shoot at him.
Okay.
Thank you.
It is a ranged weapon attack?
Yes.
Okay, so as a reaction, the individual in the cage reaches out with their mind, and you can hear in your head this voice that says, "Be careful, don't miss." And in that moment, you roll at disadvantage as that kind of sparks you and jerks your attention away.
Is it the same voice that I had heard before? Not you?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So this is at disadvantage now?
Correct.
Yes.
Is it neutral because Valis?
Yeah, you roll flat.
Alright. Sorry, buddy.
Wait, did you shoot me?
No, I didn't shoot you probably. It was a 17.
17.
Probably.
That is a miss. You shoot wide, and this individual has built this wall, basically bringing it with them as they move, and they are creating cover around themselves. It's hard to hit. But you turn, and when you do turn and look with your keen eye for detail, you can see there's an individual. You've seen these robes before because you can identify the sigil of the Awesome Lock anywhere. This black X, though the robes are faded, these are almost impossibly old. You can see places where the threads have become just pure white again. This is an Awesome Lock robe, and the individual that peers at you from beyond appears to be an elf of some kind. They are haggard looking and skinny. You being an elf, you can tell that though they look to be no older than maybe 60 or 70, they are likely well north of their 5th or 6th century. That is an old individual, and that seems to be the source of that power. But that is your turn, Ori.
Yeah.
All right, that brings us to you,
guy.
Minka.
2 questions.
Yeah.
First question. Concentration spells, if the target dies or goes down, does that concentration end?
It depends on the spell.
The spell-
So generally,
I'm assuming yes,
Yeah.
but
The only one that I can think of off the top of my head is Hex, I believe, or Hexblade's Curse. One of those you can move when the person dies.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So since Alina went down, I'm assuming I'm taking a cold.
Yeah. Constitution saving throw.
Okay. So as my next question, that happens at the beginning of the round. Cool. So that is a 25. I rolled a 19 plus 6. I got
You are able to the radiant magic that kind of glows from behind you. These celestial sigils seem to shrug away the cold. You are fine. You can move this one.
Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cast Mass Cure Wounds, essentially centering it on the ice wall, because it's I need to get everyone within a 30-foot radius, so a little bit closer that way, so I can get Cheshire in there and well in case she needs it. Or actually, no, wait, Cheshire's fine. That would be so it would be on the end of this wall.
So that will get Valis, that will get Ori, that will get Billy, and I believe that will get
Selena.
Alina's 25 feet up.
Yeah.
Is it possible to get? It's a 30-foot
it's
radius.
The hypotenuse is playing
I
against
think that
it,
you have to choose between like Ori and Billy or Alina.
Choose now.
Alina's hurt more.
Where's the circle?
Very badly burned.
I'm so sorry.
With ice, though.
This is
Freezer burn. The edges.
20 foot.
20 foot?
This is 20 foot.
The other one I think is 20 feet too. So
Okay.
25 feet maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would probably aim it to try to get Alina since she went down.
Thank you.
Is it possible to get them?
This is 60 feet. This would be the theoretical diameter of the circle. So,
So yeah, just shy.
Okay.
just shy.
Dang it. All right. So I would then, since I know I can't get them, I will instead center it. I'll center it over here, so I can get Alina, get Valis, and get myself.
Okay, fantastic. So you go ahead and you point, and there is one of these celestial motes that detaches and just rushes over like a shooting star and explodes into this just shower of celestial sparks that strike each of you and heal you in turn.
Yeah, I apologize. Before casting that, I like to change from Dragon Chalice.
That makes sense. Get that bonus heal.
To get the bonus healing in, because if I'm going to cast the big spell, we are going to cast the big spell.
The big spell,
The
make it
biggest
big.
big spell.
The biggest of big spells. Okay.
Make it huge.
So, that is
I'm about to do that too.
The biggest spell in his arsenal.
So it's 20.
Septuagenarian.
Or is like a warlock because you're always using your highest spell slot.
So that is a total of 24 points of healing.
Very nice.
All warlocks.
And then I think the only person within 30 feet of me is either myself or Valis. And I don't think Valis is.
Cheshire
I think Valis
through
might be
the wall.
just outside of it.
I'm more than 30 feet away from you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cheshire's
so I'll just target it at myself for the overheal for like
Treasure wasn't taking damage yet.
Oh yeah.
How much
Yeah.
healing was that?
24 points.
Oh, thank you.
So an explosion of healing takes place in the space.
And then I heal myself for an amount. So that was my action. And then I would like to move to the other side of this pillar. Yeah.
Where?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So I'm no longer concentrating.
Is it because protection from getting you fell off of Lena because she went down?
She went down.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
Spells.
Anything else, Minka?
because I think everything else that is a bonus action based is either in use or not useful. Yeah, so that's it.
Okay. That brings us to an individual that has no actions that they can really meaningfully take. So that brings us to the top of the round. Up at the very top, we have Rez with 22. Rez goes down. He's no longer with us.
There is no rest.
So that brings us to the lair. Suddenly, the area around the devil grows intensely cold and almost sucks into them, and you can see crystals of ice just crawl across the carapace of armor to fortify it as they gain temporary hit points. very similar, it would seem, to Armor of Agathis.
Oh no, this one's Armor of Nagathis.
Fucking asshole.
But that is the layer action. That brings us to Cheshire. Cheshire, what would you like to do?
Armor of this douche.
Ominous giggling,
Armor
but for it is Dissonant Whispers. It is a wisdom saving throw. And you know what? You can subtract 7 from that roll.
It's cocked. It's a wisdom save?
Yes, sir.
5. Taking 7 away from us pretty brutal.
7 points of psychic damage and must immediately use its reactions available to move as far as its speed allows away from me.
Okay.
Where are you? Are you still? She's like at the door here.
Yep.
So this creature, as you sink these dissonant whispers in, they turn and they thrash their head about. And in Undercommon, you can hear, "No, it's not fair! I can't even see you!" And they begin to just run away from the source of the sound. They can't really hear. They're going to move 35 feet off and towards Billy.
Talk about
Billy.
Oh, please get closer to Billy.
Too close, too close.
They would be, yeah. So they go around
I
it off.
assumed you were going to try to get the sword before.
Too close, too close.
That is their action. They are going to
That
then...
is its reaction
Yeah.
to my...
I'm going to
Oh, right, that's the reaction.
A smack.
attack it with my.
Go for it. Make your attack of opportunity.
Get him.
Okay, roll damage on that.
Oh, we are smiting today.
Okay.
Get him.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Cheshire. All right. So let's see. 2, 3. Is this thing a fiend for the purposes of smite?
It certainly is.
Yes.
I need 4d8.
4d8.
2.
Here.
I left my dice over there behind me.
Need more?
I'm good. All right. So let's see. I'm sure that's right. Yeah. Wow, that's terrible.
It's pretty average. It's pretty average.
All right. So that will be
Now there's a man who knows his numbies.
11 magical slashing,
Okay.
and then 12 radiant.
12 radiant. That does the full amount. It doesn't do any more than you would expect, and perhaps that surprises you. But
Oh, sorry. Did I say 12?
yes,
I forgot to double the dice. So that'll be 24 radiant,
very nice.
and then 17 magical slashing.
Very nice. Okay.
So
That sounds good.
This individual is rocked. As they move away, you just dig this into their back. It cracks elements of the icy spine. You can see all of that temporary HP that just built up around it just shatters directly off. Dallas, you do take 25 points of cold damage, though, as that ice just shatters into jagged shards that fly out like a porcupine and into you, as Armor of Nagathis is triggered.
25.
Correct. But that
And is this
digs...
damage from a spell? So
It
would
is a spell-like ability.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would take the full damage.
Yeah. Alrighty, but that does even break through the magical temporary hit points, and steel sinks into their flesh. Steel does a little bit of damage to them. Cheshire, anything else?
I would begin walking through the door.
Okay. You slowly kind of make your way through. It's freezing in there. And when you get to the door for free, Cheshire, you realize you're going to, like, hurt if you walk through. But you make your way in, no problem. Unpleasant. But that is your turn.
Yes.
That brings us to the Frozen. They regain their legendary resistance. They regain their legendary actions. They...
Are we sure we want that to be a thing that they do?
kind of turn in a circle.
I don't know. That kind of sounds like
They
cheating.
saw this huge burst of magic.
Did they?
They did. They
wasn't
didn't
me.
see the source.
Wasn't me.
The only person that they've seen heal has been Billy. And so they are going to rush up to you, Billy.
Now, I.
I'm a secret.
You've got the ring ready.
Wait, you gotta get there first.
They rush forwards, and they are going to take a multi-attack against you.
Sure.
You can hear in Undercommon, Valis, I think you're the only one that understands anything that they say, but in Undercommon, they say, "You will not bring back those that I send to my lord." They're going to first bite you.
We don't hear what he says because he's saying
That is a 26.
they're common, so it's just-
Yeah.
The 26, you take 9 points of piercing damage plus
Yeah.
only 5 points of cold damage.
Okay.
Barely a bite. They kind of tear away an element of this cloak or the armor that you have, but then the claws come out.
as a treat.
That is only going to be a 12 to hit.
That will not hit.
And so you are able to just parry it away with your blade, and then the tail strikes out, and that is going to be a natural 20.
Oh, bye.
Silvery barbs. Reroll it.
Hey.
That is going to be a 16 to hit.
What a champ.
I mean, yes, but it's not a natural 20.
Not a natural 20, which is good, because you are now taking instead 12 points of bludgeoning damage plus 11 points of cold damage.
I am still up.
And they strike into you. They strike into you, and then they hiss. And in Undercommon, they say, "I will have you." They pull this back, and you get the sense that their next legendary action is also going to be directed against you. But that is their turn, and that brings us to your turn, Billy.
Do something crazy.
Yeah.
Hexblade's Curse.
Okay.
And
The shadows settle.
Billy's just gonna like reach out a hand and gently pat and be like, no. And bestow Curse.
Okay.
Wisdom saving throw, please.
This first tugs as the hex, almost like a collar around their shoulders. What kind of save is that?
Wisdom.
That is a natural 1.
Nice.
And though this is dumb, as part of that natural 1, feeling the magic sink in around, first the one collar and then the second, they use their legendary resistance.
You said they were gone.
Yeah,
He said they came back.
they're once a day. They're not once around.
No.
They regain on a round. Or on
Stupid.
But that makes it really hard for us when they get back, Joe.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this.
You had really teed it up to have Cheshire be able to get, like, I was thinking banishment, like, oh man. So, but yeah, they absolutely use that. They burn it on this particular spell. Anything else, Billy?
Bye.
Alrighty.
Bye.
That is your turn. The legendary action is triggered. They are going to swing the spear at you. Billy, that's a 13 to hit.
Hey!
And so
Doesn't
in this
hit.
moment, they just spear right into the ground. They barely miss you, but they smile. And this is an insectoid kind of face. It is almost like they are taunting you. You are barely up, but that is their turn. That brings us.
I think you have a cavity.
Or sorry, that is your turn, Billy. That brings. Oh.
That was a legendary action.
That is
It is a
Valis.
legendary
Valis, would you
accent.
like
It is a legendary.
Nice to meet you.
Let's see.
That's why I don't use very many legendary creatures.
It's hard to count hexes, but all the snow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jodo was my best spell.
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
Alright, I'm just gonna
Enjoy it while you
just gonna
can.
face step over here
Okay.
because I can't quite move into range because of these benches.
Yeah. Can you make a con save at the beginning of your turn too?
I can never curse him because he gets him back at the beginning of each round.
17.
That's a meets a pizza. You're fine.
I am fine. I'm gonna attack him twice.
Damn girl.
Damn. 12.
That is a miss.
Second attack. I'm not that fine. Not that fine. All right, a little bit better. 23 to hit.
That is a hit.
All right, and I'm gonna smite again. So
Okay. Welcome, Tom.
he's a fiend. So
Yes.
all right, so that will be a
Oh, yeah.
13 magical slashing,
Okay.
and then 18 radiant.
Very nice. Full amount of damage. Anything else?
Let's see. Oh, I'm flanking him, so I should have had advantage on the attacks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So I'll just say those 2 rolls for the first attack, since I missed and I
Sure,
hit.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
I'll just roll for the second attack.
Makes sense to me.
30-20.
Dirty 20 is a hit. That is a meets a pizza.
Nice. And that'll just be goodbye, dice. 10 magical slashing.
10 magical slashing. You cut into them again and again. You can see for a moment that draws a reaction where they turn and look at you, but they turn and focus again on Billy. They are dead set on making sure that there's no more healing coming out, and that's where it's all coming from. So, anything else, Valis?
No, enter.
As a legendary action, they will take an attack against Billy.
You have pinpointed the squishiest character.
Yep. Billy, though, that is a 16 to hit?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, Billy, you do take 7 points of slashing damage.
And
and 15 points of cold damage.
I'm gone.
And so they look at you and they make eye contact and just stab Billy. And you can see the spear just goes straight through Billy, kind of clear through the other side, and they just let Billy's body slide down before it kind of freezes onto the metal, and they have to shake the corpse onto the ground.
I'm not dead.
No, not yet. But Valis, that was your turn. Alina, what would you like to do? You can make a con save, actually.
Okay.
And then you could start doing things you want to.
Yeah.
You don't want to make a con
5.
5.
Oh,
you take
yeah,
4
you don't
points
wanna
of
make
cold
con
damage and you lose 10 feet of movement speed. This is just hampering your ability to move. You are like slowed even in flight.
It's okay, I'm a long distance girly.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go all reliable. Do a little pew pew at the. That's cocked, right? That's definitely cocked. Okay. Oh! I rolled a 2 that was cocked, and I was like, oh, thank God, and it's another 2. That's what I get. That's 12 and an 18.
Both of those are misses. They fire. One caroms off the back. Anything else, Alina?
Damn it. To just calling out, just in case any healers didn't see, Billy's down!
Okay.
We noticed.
Just checking.
As a legendary action at the end of your turn, they slowly turn on you, Valis. And in Undercommon, they say, now you've earned this. And they swing at you. That is going to be a 19 to hit.
Miss.
All right.
Oh, my
it just clangs right off. And they sneer. But that is their turn. That brings us to... that was Alina. That brings us to you, Ori. Can you make a con save, please?
Sweet. 11.
You only take 3 points of cold damage, but you do lose 10 of your movement speed.
Okay, that's fine, because I'm just gonna steady aim and shoot this motherfucker.
Yeah, go for it.
Get him.
Get on.
And free action, I'm gonna, like, look back and be like, nice. That's gonna be a 28 to hit.
28. That is a hit.
And I am going to use a disarming strike on this guy.
As a reaction... No, they can't see Alice. Never mind. Nothing.
And I'm also going to expend the last fire charge on him as well.
Sure.
But first, that's gonna be 25 points of magical piercing.
Okay, 25 points of magical piercing.
Another 7 points of magical fire.
Okay. All right. Anything else, Ori?
That is it for me.
You sink the shot into them from behind. They are moving.
And he has to make the strength save to not be disarmed.
Correct. That is going to be a... What is the strength modifier? That is a 18.
Ooh, meeta.
Unfortunately. They hold onto the spear. They turn. They give you a glance, but then turn their focus back to Valis. Anything else, Ori?
That's it.
As their final legendary action, they are going to take a swing at you, Valis. That is going to be a 29 to hit. Valis, that is going to be
Might be it for me.
near max damage. That is going to be 11 points of piercing damage. Plus 14 points of cold damage.
Valis is down.
Oh, right.
Oh, boy.
He spears through Billy, turns, spears through Valis, turns, and now, Ori, you have his full attention. And he says something in Undercommon. You can hear
I don't speak it!
but you do not know what it says. That is Ori. You're
not saying words!
I'm gonna run forward, so 5, 10, 15, 20. I like to get here so I can get people within 30 feet of me.
Okay.
6, 7 here.
Yeah, that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Oh, over one so I can, oh god, I lose my base. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. Okay. So Billy looks like he's just past 30 feet, and then Valis is within 30 feet.
Oh, I think if you started here,
Yeah.
then you can step one step closer.
Yeah. For 35, right?
For 35, yep. Does that get both of them within 30 feet? It's hard to see.
It does.
Okay, excellent. So, she's gonna run up there and be like, hang in there! And then put a target on herself by casting Healing Within View of the creature. Okay, so...
Nice.
It is going to be a 3rd level healing word on... math. Okay, hold on, I just want to do a big mental math. Okay, 3rd level healing word on Billy.
Okay.
And then my Chalice form ability on Valis.
Okay, yeah. Overhealing on Valis.
Yes, yes. Overhealing. I thought you meant like overhealing, like I'm healing him past his abilities. I'm like, is he dead? What happened? Did I blink and miss it? Okay, so that is a total of the shittiest roll I've ever done in my life.
Love to hear it.
That is 3, 4, 5, 11 points of healing word.
You know,
Very
every
nice.
little bit helps.
And it's so
sorry.
important here because you know at the beginning of each person's turn they're taking damage, and if they're unconscious, there is no way that they can just kind of will through it as many of you have. So very important.
Awesome. And then Valis gets switch. 14 points of healing to Valis. And that was my bonus action. And then for my action, he is still too far for me to do most of the things. So my action, I'm going to just run over to here. Action book it.
Okay. They are all out of legendary actions, so they just turn to watch you run as you cast this healing spell, and it sinks into the allies around. These people kind of cough back to life, and they now know where the healing is coming from.
Yep.
But anything else, Minka?
That was my action, bonus action, and movement, and that is it for me.
All right. On initiative order 1, this individual in the cage regards you with these cold eyes, Minka, and you feel yourself being looked at. You can feel an intense gaze scrutinizing you.
Yeah.
Okay. That is all that they're going to do. That brings us to the top of the round. To the lair actions. This individual turns. They look at you, Minka, and they snap. And above, this big chunk of the ceiling directly over top them cracks off and plummets down to the ground. Valis and Alina, at disadvantage, can you make dexterity saving throws? And then I believe...
Valis and Alina?
Sorry.
No, I'm flying. What do you mean?
Billy and Valis.
Thank you. I just was doing it without even thinking. I was like, oh yeah.
At disadvantage?
Because you were prone, right?
Roll.
Oh, thank God. 18.
18, that is a success.
Mine's higher than an 18.
I threw the circle template somewhere under the table, I'm sorry.
It's not Dirty 20.
Oh no.
Dirty 20, that is a success as well. So as they collapse this down, 8 you said? Unfortunate. This slams down across you, Valis, and you feel that the ice kind of congeals around you. This ceiling slams on top of you. Valis, you do take 14 points of bludgeoning damage as the ceiling collapses on top of you. Are you unconscious?
Yeah.
That was the exact amount of healed before.
It just pummels you, and you are unconscious. Oh man, but the rest of you can roll, you can dodge the rubble. It just kind of falls around you, and in that moment, they kind of just let this collapse around themselves, and it's like the rock just splits. They are untouched by this layer action, but that brings us to you, Cheshire.
I'm gonna make my way about 20 feet forward.
Okay.
And telepathically, I would like to cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay. What kind of saving throw is that?
I just learned initial surface thoughts of the creature, but if I choose to probe deeper, which I'm going to, is a wisdom saving throw.
For a wisdom save, that is going to be a 21.
That will succeed.
But you do get the surface thoughts, and so... Do you speak Undercommon?
I don't.
Okay. Actually, do you speak Infernal?
I do not.
Okay. The surface thoughts are all in Infernal. They're speaking Undercommon because as far as they know, that's what you all speak, and so they have been just yelling at all of you and really just dealing some damaging blows. But in Infernal, you can hear... Vistis nocti arichen toast. And then it fades out and you feel shrieks and pleasure and pain and all these complex emotions that just roll across the surface. And you get at this point that they are hurt. They're not in the best shape, but they relish it. It feels good to them, this suffering. And this is more fun than they've had in a very long time. But that is your turn, Cheshire.
In its head, I'm not sure I like your story. I'm gonna back up the remaining 10 feet.
Okay, back away from this individual. And that does bring us to the Frozen One. They regain their legendary resistances, they regain their legendary actions, and they turn to look at Minka. They are going to first take 5 feet of movement to close the distance with Ori.
Sweet.
Because do you get an attack of opportunity from prone?
I think so. It's
You
just,
do.
It would be
It's a
at
disadvantage, but you do.
You just.
They
Why
seem
do they-
almost like, and also, as far as they know, everybody there is unconscious. They just drop the ceiling on you, so they just take the step forward as it falls around them.
And technically, we're flanking, so
I
it would
got
be a
one.
flat
There
roll.
you go. So, not one.
Oh, wait. Like, if we're flanking, I got a 17.
Hey, there you go. It's a miss. And so from the ground, you are unable to hit them. They step forward as the walls fall in around them, and Ori, they loom over top. And in Uncommon, they say, "Good Octai," and they are going to take 3 attacks against you to move you out of their way by
Uncommon,
killing you.
undercommon.
I'll do it.
Man.
Wait,
This is going
what?
to be a bite attack. The first one is going to be a natural 20.
Uncanny dodge.
So you uncanny dodge this as you take... Oh boy. You are going to take 15 points of piercing damage, which will be halved by your uncanny dodge to 7, plus... 24 points of cold damage, halved by uncanny dodge to 12 points of cold damage. Then the claws come out.
Cool.
And Ori, that is going to be a 23 to hit.
That's gonna be a hit.
Ori, that is only going to be 9 points of slashing damage, plus 8 points of cold damage. And then the tail comes over top like a club. And that is going to be a 21 to hit. Alrighty.
Billy, like, looks up and is just like, no, 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 no. And that's silver bar.
That's going to be higher. And so that last one is going to be 7 points of bludgeoning damage, plus
We tried.
10 points of cold damage.
I'm done.
And they club you down to the ground, and they just step over top you and move 30 more feet towards Minka.
Oh boy.
And Minka, in Undercommon, you can hear them say, Garundi. And they take the spear out, and it begins to drag on the ground. Ice crystals just spread out from it. It is bitterly cold as they approach, but that is their turn. That brings us to you, Billy. Billy, are you unconscious?
No, I'm just prone.
Okay. So go ahead and make a con saving throw.
She's making snow angels.
13.
13. That is a failure. Billy, you take 8 points of cold damage.
Cool, I am still up.
And your movement is reduced by 10 before you stand up.
That's fine. I'm gonna stand up.
Half your movement speed to stand.
I've got 5 left, but I'm gonna keep those 5, and I'm gonna pew pew.
Okay. At this, you are almost always eager to close the distance, but having taken a number of blows from this individual, you stay right where you are. 5 feet in the tank.
So first one is a 19.
That is a miss.
All right, and the other one is a 28.
That is a hit.
Cool. Gets pulled back 10 feet, like towards me.
Oh, very nice. Minka, you can see they take one step and are just...
And that's 11 points of force damage.
11 points of force damage. That is the full amount that you would expect. They're looking pretty rough. Billy, as you strike, though they are stalking Minka, they behind, but continue to plow forward.
And Billy just like anime coughs up blood and then just shouts, "Get out of here!" And then that's a bardic to Minka.
Very nice, Minka. You feel suddenly bolstered.
Here's a confidence bardic. It's little.
I love Billy?
Yeah.
Okay, they use their legendary action to close the distance and get right up into Minka's face. Minka, they are now looming over you, even with that kind of moonwalk moment. They still are able to step forward, close the distance, and that brings us to Valis. Valis, can you make a con saving throw, please? Are you
unconscious?
So you take
what do I do?
you take 2 death failures.
Okay.
And that is your turn. You stay with 1 available.
Okay.
For those of you who are seeing Valis on the ground, as their kind of turn takes place, you see they do not stand up, they do not regain their feet, and the ice begins to swallow them. They begin to sink into the ground, and you see just the top of the face, the unconscious eye, the mouth is open, and the ice is crawling down his throat. You know that if you do not do something to help Valis, they will be dead, and really dead, next turn. But that is Valis' turn. That brings us to Alina.
Something of life.
Going now.
Well, this is 60, right?
Yeah. Peace. Maybe pose.
Poop. I don't know if I can help Alice.
That's for a
Can you do damage?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I just
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. I'm gonna get a bit closer here. Let's see. It's like 1, 2. Up there. And let's see.
This is the sound of Alina readying her ultimate attack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man.
Wait, I need to check my notes for a second. I can't remember with Psychic Lance. Did the psychic damage do as much as I know that,
yeah, did the full amount
but it did. Okay. All right. Psychic Lance time, bitch.
Sure. Intelligence saving throw?
Yeah.
That is a natural 20.
Well, still takes half damage.
Yeah.
Oops, that's shatter. That's not Psychic Lance at all. All right, 28 halved is 14.
14. Does the full amount that you would expect, and they grit their teeth. There is a... As this does a lot of damage, and they are hurting Minka right in front of you. They sink a little bit, but you can see the tail is retracting, the claws are coming back, the mouth is opening to bite. They are still ready to attack.
And Alina goes, "Hey! Pick on someone your own size, probably. I'm over here, you dickhead."
Okay, it echoes across the chamber. That is your turn, Alina. As a legendary action, they are going to take a attack against you, Minka.
Oh, yeah.
Minka, that is going to be a 26 to hit.
That hits.
Alrighty. Minka, you are taking 10 points of bludgeoning damage plus 14 points of cold damage.
I use my reaction to cast the absorby spell.
Very nice. Absorb elements. You see this coming towards you. You put your hand on your chest and you put down cold damage?
To resist cold damage, yep.
All right. And so you only take half of that damage. That was 14 points cold damage.
Yep.
That is a legendary action at the end of Alina's turn. Anything else, Alina?
May like help Alice.
Okay, you yell, help Alice. That brings us to Ori. Ori.
All right, and Ori.
The ice crawls across you. You can mark 2 death failures.
Oh, buddy.
And that is the end of your turn. Ori and Valis, your 2 elves or half elves, kind of just sinking down into the ice, both of them on the edge of death. But that brings us to Minka.
Yes.
Minka, can you make a con save at the beginning of your turn?
I sure can. That is 18 on the die.
18 is a meets it, beats it.
It's also plus 6.
You actually succeed by 1, so no worries.
We got this.
You are unaffected by this creature's cold.
Yep.
What do you want to do?
So I can move around an enemy as long as I don't leave the space?
Correct.
Okay. So make it to the other side, which would make me 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. I think that's just for range. You guys are just out of range of the overhealing. But what I did you are in range for is mass cure wounds.
Hooray.
So this is
Anything's good.
the
A
last
life-saving mass cure
bit
wound.
of have a half turn. Don't have a third one of
One
those.
fail
so
save away from
please
death.
do not go down again.
I've been there before.
Trying real hard.
Which also
not
is this
used
bad
right.
boy. Okay, so that is.
This is Ori's element.
It's just a bit chilly.
It's just a bit
16 points of healing.
Nice.
Okay, Alice, Ori, Billy, you all get 16 points of healing.
And then I don't believe anyone is within range to do the healing other than me, so that is me.
Thanks, Minka.
Okay, that is my action, and then my bonus action, I'm just gonna say, fuck it. I'm going to switch from. No, I can't because I need to do it at the beginning of the round. I'm just going to bonus action. That is fine. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I don't think I have any bonus
No
actions
worries.
that I can use.
End of your turn.
I just want to double check before I
worries.
declare it. Yes, because the only other thing I can do.
At the end of your turn, it's going to use its last legendary action to take an attack against you.
I assumed.
And that is a natural 1. So it swings and just swings wide. You can see unable to strike. As you are able to cast this healing, it is like that disgusts it, and it just spits on the ground at your feet and just withdraws for just a moment.
Okay.
That is its reaction to your turn. That brings us to the very end
Eat your
and to
vegetables,
initiative
guy.
order 1.
I'm just gonna mean mug it.
Fucking asshole.
Yeah, this mean little guy. He can stay in the cage as far as I'm concerned.
Asimlock.
He's going to peer across and just kind of look at Ori.
What if he's like the celestial scene? He's just a mean old man in a cage.
The Minka style scene.
He's in charge, but he's like, you laugh.
Yeah, my name's Josh Vizier. What do you want?
So that brings us to the top of the round to lair action. This creature turns and it looks at you, Minka. And can you go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw, please?
Sure can. That is a 19.
19. As they use the innate coldness within this place and kind of cause it to focus in around you, so close are you to it that it cannot quite do that without kind of affecting itself. It is unable to use a lair action against you. No problem. That brings us to Cheshire.
At it.
Cheshire, what do you want to do? You can see this creature now towers over Minka. Minka tries to run away, but it turns and strikes again.
You will tell me your secrets, though. That's another dissonant whispers at it. It's a wisdom saving throw.
That's pretty good. That's going to be an 18.
That is a pizza.
There we go.
It still takes half damage. It just doesn't move away.
7
points of psychic damage.
Half to 3. No problem. Again, even with that little amount of damage, Minka, you can hear this. It's getting hurt. With each one of these little amounts, they're adding up, and this creature is hurt. But it relishes this, and you can see it turns. Is that your turn, Minka?
That's my turn.
It has no more legendary actions, but it is embracing this opportunity. It is excited, and you can feel that radiating off of it as strongly as the cold. But that brings us back to the Frozen One. Their legendary actions come back, their legendary resistances come back, and you are right there for it. It's going to go ahead and take a multi-attack against you, Minka. First, it's going to bite. That is going to be 16 to hit.
Miss.
And so snaps. You kind of crawl out of the way, regaining your feet from their last attack. A 23 to hit.
Hits.
It claws across you. You take 7 points of slashing damage plus 8 points of cold damage. And then the tail lashes out over top, clubbing down. That is going to be a 17 to hit.
Miss.
And it strikes right next to you. You are still up. This creature unable to overwhelm you, but it will use its movement to do the same thing that you did. And just cage you out. It just kind of says in infernal this hiss, or sorry, in undercommon hisses something that you don't understand. It feels like not so fast though, as they block your way again. That is their turn. That brings us to Billy. Billy, can you make a Constitution saving throw?
Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Aura's back?
Aura's back.
Hey! Oh, we plugged the aura back in. Thank goodness.
Need my nightlight?
You're here.
Oh, don't need it for once. That's going to be a 25.
Nice. You shrug off the cold. What do you want to do?
He can burn his resistance.
Yeah.
Spirits from the darkness.
Billy brandishes Mor's Mudir and points it at the Frozen One, and she's just like, I'm not really sure how this works, I just know it works, and stabs it into the air to use its once per long rest feature. Does a 20 hit? 20. A dirty 20.
20 is a meets it beats it.
Hey. It needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
13.
Their speed is reduced to 0 for 1 round.
Very nice. So as that happens, it is like the shadows creep out of the cracks in ice that have formed with all of the strikes and the blows and your body's hitting the ground, and they just wrap around and almost hold this creature taut.
8 points of magical slashing damage. And that was my bonus action. So then she is going to pew pew to draw him 10 feet away if she can. Cool, so that's a dirty 20 and a natural 1.
Okay, dirty 20 is a hit.
Uh, 10 points of force damage, and he gets moved 10 feet closer to Billy.
Very nice. So you strike, and they are yanked away. Minka, are you going to take this attack of opportunity?
Every little bit counts.
I mean, yes.
Okay.
But I have I'm holding a shield.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I can shield bash out the feature, right?
No, probably not.
So all I can really do is just kind of hand bap.
Unarmed strike, or perhaps if you have Warcaster, I believe there's some abilities that enables it.
I don't have Warcaster.
Yeah. So unarmed strike.
Unarmed strike!
It's a shield bash for flavor.
Yeah. I rolled a 2 on the die, so
You just swing and almost fall flat as you just miss wide. They're already 10 feet away as Billy has pulled them. But no problem. Anything else, Billy?
Billy isn't doing well. Billy is going to just kind of move this way.
You tuck your way in, and you can see now in the distance as you wrap around that stone
Actually, Billy will move closer, just under.
Okay.
I want to be under help.
You make your way under the stone. On your left, as you walk beneath the stone, you can see that there is this cage off to the left, and these dark eyes regard you just silently as you do. But that is your turn, Billy. They will use their legendary action to move 10 feet closer to Minka.
They have the speed of 0.
They do! That's right!
For the round.
That's true.
They can be upset in space.
Frustrating. Yeah.
Oh, it's frustrating.
Is it frustrating? How about that bestow curse?
As a legendary
do that.
action,
Shoot.
they are going to extend the wall.
Okay.
There's one thing that they can do. They're using opportunity.
You want to smush me?
No, but they're
You're gonna try and smush Cheshire.
Cheshire. They can start to slowly expand it in that direction because that's all that they can really do. Cheshire, next to you, the
playing
wall
Minecraft.
suddenly begins to crawl and creep as it seems to almost be reaching out to grab you. But it's slow.
You're too slow.
You just like take one step to the right, and it's like too slow to catch up to you. It does form that ice. That is all it can do as a legendary action. And so that, I believe, brings us to Valis.
Oh, free action Billy just shouts, run!
Alright, as commanded, he starts running towards the.
Not you!
Can you make a con saving throw, please?
Oh, you're right.
This isn't Iron and Thorns where you have a feature where you
16, that is a failure.
don't do what
You
you're
are
told.
taking 8 points of cold damage. Your movement speed is reduced by 10.
How much damage?
8 points of cold damage.
Okay.
You still have one magic stone. That's 3 hits.
Oh, okay.
So you have one other ranged option.
I think I can. I think I can still get to it.
Okay.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Very nice.
Face step over here, and I'll just attack him twice.
No
Get 'em.
problem. You pull the sword around, and as you bring it up in an upward slash, you phase step and finish the slash on the other end.
I want him to like, get him.
No Jumanji.
Draw blood.
Oh my god! All right, first attack, natural 1.
Very nice. That is a miss.
Are you sure?
In this moment, as you miss, you are holding a sword.
I am holding a sword.
You are holding a sword. With the natural 1 in the ice here, your fingers have almost frozen. When they dragged you down, they went completely numb. You don't have a good grip, and the sword just falls from your grasp. Can you roll a d6, please?
Rip.
3.
A 3. The sword
Like
drops
rip,
and
like
scatters. Can you
that's
roll
what I thought.
1d4, please?
No, I was more thinking like,
3.
3. Your sword scatters. Oh, you have a little thing. Right there.
Alright. Can I draw another sword as part of my move interact action?
No, I do not believe you can.
Okay. Alright then. I am gonna just bash him with my shield.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Let's see. Alright, so I'm not proficient in that, right?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so then that's probably not gonna hit. 10 to hit.
10 is a miss. You swing, the sword dropped, and so you take the shield and try to bash. It hits them, but does no damage. Anything else, Valis?
That'll be it.
All right, that is your turn. You face stepped and threw your sword. That brings
that.
us. Actually, they'll turn and they'll use a legendary action since they don't need to move to make an attack on you. Valis, this spear in their hand, you can see they look at you and in Undercommon they say, "Foolish. You should always know your territory." And they swing and their foot slips as they roll a natural 1 and they drop their spear. Unlike you, however, the spear drops at their feet and just kind of spins. It doesn't go off in any direction, but they are disarmed.
do you have a reaction to kick?
Or just pick it up. It's yours now.
Oh, that's
It's heavy, it's big. So this is for a large creature, but you certainly can.
If you kick it, you'll stub your toe. Don't do it.
That is their legendary action in response to Valis. That brings us to Alina.
Okay. She
You make
does
a Constitution saving throw, please.
fine.
An inordinate amount.
Is it 60 feet?
It is.
I think I might be
might be out of
outside of
Check.
it.
I think you're still within. Oh no, you're
Nope.
not. Look at that. Just at the edge.
Well.
That's it.
Can I use this roll for one of my Eldritch Blasts?
Sure.
Hey, okay, so that's a 28 and a 12.
One hit.
All right. let's do. Oh shit! I was gonna cast Hex and I forgot to.
Unfortunate.
Okay, yeah. I deserve that. That's gonna be 10 points of force damage and 4 bludgeoning.
10 points of force damage and 4 points of bludgeoning. This creature, as you strike into it, they are hurt, and you wish you had cast Hex because they are looking bad.
Oh no!
Their weapon has dropped. You can see they have nothing to parry any blows with. They are hurt, and they kind of sink just a little bit.
All over again.
But they are still up. Anything else?
Alina's gonna curse internally because she really wanted this kill, and she doesn't think she's gonna get it now. But
This is a legendary action, and their final one, they're gonna turn and they're going to bite you, Valis, because they don't have a spear.
And I can't
That is going to be a
move.
23 to hit.
Oh, that would hit.
Valis,
Going down.
That
Oh.
is 11 points of piercing damage and 14 points of cold damage.
I am down.
As they bite you, you can see they lift Valis's whole body with the strength of these mandibles, and they just slam him down on the ground. The ice begins to kind of creep over Valis's body. They look at you again, Minka, and they pick the spear up off the ground. But that is their turn. Or sorry, that is their final legendary action. Ori, what would you like to do?
Free action steal Alina's kill.
I feel like you've earned it at this point.
I have a question. With going down, do the charges remain on them?
They do not.
Okay. Then also, in order to get up, does that count as moving?
That is moving.
Okay. Then I am. Can I steady aim from prone?
You can, yeah.
I feel like you.
Then-
Yeah, like better.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, taking a ranged attack from prone is at advantage.
Oh, cool.
Hell
so
yeah.
I don't need to steady aim.
No, because I'm pretty sure that's
more
kind
sturdy,
of
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
more
Oh,
sturdy.
okay,
You're
cool.
using a
Then,
crossbow.
I'm
That's
gonna
rules
stay
as written.
prone. Oh, cool. Then
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stay prone.
I mean, if it was an arrow,
Yeah.
I could see.
Loose.
Like, you know, you side load.
But even that, I think they're thinking if you're prone, you're kneeling and firing. Like
Yeah.
it's still like you're kind of laying down, stand up, fire, lay down. You know, it's like part of that kind of tempo.
27 to hit.
Nice.
A 27 is a hit.
And they are not now wielding the spear because
They picked it up.
They picked
Oh,
it
they
up.
picked it up. Disarming strike.
There you
that
go.
Hey.
Shit.
So Valis can kick it and hopefully not stub his toe.
All right, so that's gonna be pretty good numbers.
I think if Valis stubs his toe, he is all the way dead.
I can beat half of those dice.
So
Oh,
that's
those are good numbers. It took me a second.
so that's gonna be 31 points of magical piercing and a strength saving throw, DC 18.
That is going to be a 19 on the die, so that is a success. That hurts them bad. And you can hear now they hiss. The spear slips from their grip, but they grab onto it at the last second. Minka, they sink to one knee, but they take the spear, they stick it into the ice, and they drag themselves back up. You can see there is blood. It is black like oil coming out from between the mandibles, and they wheeze. And in Undercommon, Valis, you're close enough to hear this.
No, I'm not. I'm out.
Oh, you're
Your spirit is
In your
close
dreams.
enough.
Yeah.
in Undercommon, they say, Rigidno, Kenostov, Kenoten Lavistas. But they surge forwards. Anything else? Ori?
Bonus action, quick toss.
Okay, go for it.
Oh my god.
Please.
If it's the dagger again, if it's just throwing a dagger, is it just throwing a dagger?
It's a 26.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Please.
I'm so upset.
For 7 points of regular ass dagger damage.
Ori.
No way!
Anything else? All right, that is your turn.
For what it's worth, it looks like the hex probably would not have been enough.
On their legendary action, they cross 10 more feet. Minka, they loom over you. They block your vision of everybody beyond. And
They don't move!
How long
wait,
they...
Can't
Oh,
move for
still
the entire round.
The round!
Round, that's right.
No, you made this item!
Until it's Billy's turn.
Keep him
again.
honest, everybody keep him honest.
Pressure, can you make a dex save?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Happy to.
On the wall.
Grow! Thorax! Grow!
I don't think she gets to do that.
We'll see how the next
It's treasure.
You step, just kind of walking a little faster than the wall can grow. All they can do is cause this to grow just 10 feet at a time. You move faster than that, you just keep walking. But you are okay, no problem. That is all that they can do as their legendary action. Minka, they try to surge forwards, but the shadows hold them in place. They say something in Undercommon, but you can't understand, but blood is coming down. They are in bad shape. What are you doing?
Okay, this is for attacks, right?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Brain.
Or saving throws, right?
alright, first things first. I'm assuming I do a Constitution saving throw.
Correct.
That is going to be a 25.
25 is a success.
All
You're
right.
not affected by the ice.
Cool. Next thing she's gonna do is she's just gonna look at him and yell, just stop it! And she's gonna use that to heal Valis, the healing word.
Okay. With stop it is the healing word, and it strikes into you, Valis. Suddenly, almost regrettably, you are brought back to consciousness. Freezing cold here.
I'm taking a page out of both of our Bard's books and just yelling angry things.
You are not being permitted to die.
Use your anger.
Anything else, man?
Yes.
Join the dark side.
So that is. This things will happen. Give me a second. So that is a total of 11 points of healing for the healing word. The overheal will also go to Valis because he's closest.
Corrupt from the beginning. You just didn't know it.
It's true. She was the most murderous of all.
That's 11 points of healing. And then she's going to take a step closer. Now that Valis is alive, does he is that flanking?
Well,
Or is he
you
prone?
10 feet closer, but yeah, you would be flanking.
Okay, I am going to get up into his face and then look at him and say, "Stop it!" I'm going to do shocking grasp.
Yeah, absolutely. What kind of save is that?
It is an attack.
Okay, yeah.
So I wish to so it's flanking sense advantage.
Yes.
Yeah.
I very rarely actually walk up to people to attack them. Those both fucking suck. Great, I don't think that's enough. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 24.
Yeah!
24 is a hit.
Okay! Thank you very much! You are most welcome!
First, to approach this individual, each step is just like having your skin kind of flayed away from your body. The intense cold causes it to crack. You're bleeding from like the areas around your nails, but you force yourself forward, you reach forward and you grab them. Go ahead and roll damage.
That is total 12 points of lightning damage.
Minka, tell us how it's
Okay.
You had 8 health left.
Minka is going to essentially channel the storm and channel the bards in this, and just basically grab onto him and just shock the shit out of him to the point where some electric discharge goes off of the sphere.
Phenomenal. So all the remaining points of light are drawn into Minka, and the celestial energy is channeled into more electricity. And unlike anything that you have ever seen before, this is just the pure fury of Minka, the actual malicious that ripples through this creature's body. You can see the ice cracks and shatters, and all around you, this layer just shatters. The ice cracks and shatters, and all across this frozen wasteland is kind of pushed just a degree or two warmer. And as this creature just dies at your feet, and you can see the plates fold in on themselves and they turn into the grossest water that you have ever seen. You have all defeated the frozen one, and you are out of initiative.
Hooray!
Billy gets missing steps.
In this cold space, as you are victorious over the frozen one, Billy, you can see up on this platform a glowing sword. But there are drums that you can hear often in the distance. They kind of sink into the place around all of you. Give me just 1 second to change this music.
Drums in the deep.
What was that?
Drums in the deep. I mean, it's not that.
Grand.
There is a shifting, and the ice cracks in these patterns that suddenly, they look random at first, but then you can see all at once there is a sylvan kind of nature to them, and you can hear the drums kind of intensify, and there is a whoosh. And as the ice is cracking and kind of thawing, it gets warmer. The cold temperatures instantly kind of begin to rise, and the raw feeling is released from the air. Give me one moment. Billy, are you going towards the sword?
Misty Step.
You just appear. And when you get to the top, at the moment that you apparate out of the Misty Step, you can see the stone itself almost explode behind you. You have to like shield your eyes. And standing where that tall vertical pillar behind the sarcophagus is Hearn.
Hey.
You stand with your hand outstretched and you can see this blade in front of you, Billy. You can see that this is forged from blackened steel. You can see the curved scimitar-like edge reflects a shimmering amethyst. But Hearn, from beneath this helm, says, "Wait." And they turn and they look down at you, Alina.
I'll like fly over to join them on the top of the gazebo.
You fly over. And Hearn, addressed both of you, says, "You've done well. You've slayed the Frozen One, and you've proven your worth. Elena of the Wild Hunt, you will be a part of the Wild Hunt when your time comes.
Thank you.
You have a choice before you. Your friend desires that blade.
Yeah.
It's a powerful item, but one from a time long past. You've earned the favor of your lord, Sir Nunos. He could remake this blade into something far more useful for you. Or you could have it as it is and save that favor for another thing. Elena, what do you choose? Do you take the Song of Dark Morning as is, or remake it as the Anthem of the Hunter's Moon? And as you consider for a moment, it's like your vision blurs, and aside this blade, you can see a blade polished to a mirror's edge. It disappears into a handle of ebony that is carved to show the faces of the moon, though the new moon is depicted as a single disc of polished silver. And Billy, as you look at that, something about that is wicked, and you can tell, even looking upon this, that this weapon is the bane of hags everywhere. But because it is 10:30, and to give you some time to make a choice, this is where we're going to end for the evening. But Wandering Hearts, as you have slain the Frozen One, you imagine that the next time that you take a long rest, you will level up.
Woo! Yes!
We did it.
Thank you for joining us for this session of D&D. You have all survived this arc. We have a lot of discussion about what comes next. Alina / Hannah and Kara, talk about what you want. From a mechanical standpoint, I'll give both of you 2 different weapon items that you can kind of take a look at to see what they do.
So one is like, Billy can have it now, and the other one is...
Billy can have it now, period.
Okay.
If you want this favor that you have earned, you can cash it in right now, and you can make this what Billy needs right now. You can make this the Anthem of the Hunter's Moon. This will be an item that is no longer the Sword of Dark Morning, an item that, when you look at it, the very first component of this is the Tri-Word component. Combines with Dawnfang and Silence to create the Soulcaster. This is an item that has intense history within the world of Alberon. But you could also remake it into something potentially even greater. And that happens right now, but you'll lose a favor that you could perhaps use later.
I gotcha.
So we'll talk about that, but thank you for joining us for this session. We'll be back next week. Kara will be away and on vacation for the next week. We'll be joined by a special guest next week. Izzy from Dice Dragons Guild is going to be joining us from somewhere out in Massachusetts, coming and joining us. So you will see, it's going to be a very cool session next week.
I'm very jealous.
Stay safe. It is crazy out there. We'll see you then. Goodbye.
Bye.